Chapter 1066. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan ran to open a shop diagonally across from Wang Ju's house. They even disguised themselves as a married couple in their 30s. Even those who stayed in the inner courtyard of Hangzhou didn't know. Only those who left with them knew. But they couldn't send the news back, so they continued to sail in the direction of the capital. No one else knew what Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan were doing. Only they knew what they were doing. They were going to the capital because they were afraid that someone from the other side would arrange people in the capital to make trouble. Once the news of the two of them returning spread, the other party would naturally shift their focus to avoid the two of them. Or they would try to kill them on their way back. This was something that the other party would definitely do. Even Xiao Bei and the others would dare to do. Another reason was that the other side would feel that they had a chance when they left Hangzhou. As for buying the store, it was also to create opportunities for the other side. Zhang Xiaobao was the best at this. The highest level of deception was not to take the initiative to deceive people. It was to find the right target and make the other side come to him to be deceived. Whether it was successful or not depended on the means of operation. That was the purpose of buying a small store. Zhang Xiaobao worked hard. He tried his best to make everything delicious. He also changed the way the braised food store sold things. He didn't sell large pieces of meat by the dozen. Instead, he sold them separately. The braised chicken was cut into pieces and divided into chicken head, chicken neck, chicken wing tips, chicken heart, chicken thighs, claws, and so on. The pork was also divided in the same way, especially the pig head. The pig ears were bought at a high price from a butcher. Together with the pickles he made a few days ago, it could last for a few days. Now he bought a new jar to make it. In addition to the above, there were all kinds of side dishes. They were placed on plates. Beside the counter, there was a shelf. The side dishes were all 1 copper coin per plate. The rice wine jar was also placed outside. There was a grape hanging on it. The washed bowls were placed on the side. Whoever wanted to drink could go and get a bowl. If the wine was good enough, no one would care if the wine was about to overflow. It was 3 copper coins per bowl. If he was willing to eat the side dishes, he would take a plate to the table or the narrow table. He would eat and drink while chatting, and when he was done, he would pay the bill when he left. As for the other dishes, they were also placed on the shelves. Plate by plate. There might be more on a certain plate or less on a certain plate. It was up to the customer to choose. Of course, Zhang Xiaobao would always place a plate that was obviously missing something. With that comparison, the other dishes would sell well. This was the psychology of consumers. Zhang Xiaobao was only responsible for wiping the table and cleaning up the dishes, while Wang Wan was in charge of accounting and replenishing the shelves. There was another job for Wang Wan. It was a new model in the restaurant. She could mix the dishes with the same price. For example, the chicken heart and pig ears would cost the same. If the customers didn't want to spend 2 sets of money to buy 2 plates, they could order the same dish and put it together. On the day that Brother Chow came, the business was pretty good by noon. Most of the customers were former customers. Zhang Xiaobao dealt with them with ease. He had specifically asked the previous customer about many things about the former customers. Although it was a scam, it had to be presentable. He couldn't lose his professionalism. If the business wasn't good, wouldn't it be a disgrace to his reputation as an international swindler? Most of the former customers were willing to come in and try the dishes. Only a small portion of them left when they saw the new customers. Some of them even asked where the original customers were, as they missed them very much. The food that Zhang Xiaobao meticulously prepared naturally wouldn't taste bad. When he selected the ingredients, he chose the best ones and was very careful. He only calculated the cost of the ingredients. Every time he sold a set, he would only get a profit of slightly more than 10%. As for the labor cost, it was impossible to calculate. It seemed that no one could give an answer to how much he and Wang Wan earned by working for an hour. The former customers who came to eat on the first day were all very satisfied. They went back to help advertise the restaurant. The next day, the business of the restaurant became popular. Since the restaurant opened in the morning, people who specifically heard the rumors and wanted to join in the fun had already come. After a quarter of an hour, the 4 tables were already full. Some people even sat together. As for the other long and narrow table, no one was willing to go there as they felt uncomfortable. After waiting for another hour, the long table was also filled with people. There was no other way. There was a lack of space, so they could only be particular about it. In the past, if they encountered such a situation, some people would find a place to stand and eat. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan were also busy. They kept wiping the tables, tidying up the bowls and chopsticks, and replenishing the food on the shelves. Batches of customers came and left. By noon, there was no place for them to stand. The taste of the food was indeed extraordinary. Many people felt that it was not worthwhile for Shirtu to open a small store and that he should work as a chef in a restaurant. That way, he could earn more than what he was doing now. Compared to the past, not only was the taste better, but there were also more varieties. More importantly, the price was not expensive. The original items were the same as the previous ones, and the new ones were estimated to be of the same price. The restaurant was open for 2 consecutive days. On the 3rd day, more people squeezed in. Seeing that there was no place to eat, they packed and brought back to eat with their families or find a few friends to drink together. People said that the braised food was in the wind riding restaurant, but it was in fact bought by the restaurant between the clouds and the water in Hangzhou. Xiaobao, it's been 3 days. I think the effect is almost there, right? Is it time to move on to the next step? After finishing the work on the 3rd day, the restaurant was closed at night. Zhang Xiaobao cooked 2 dishes and made several plates of braised food. When he was drinking and eating with Wang Wan moved her shoulders and asked Zhang Xiaobao. Zhang Xiaobao was also tired. At noon and in the evening, the 2 of them didn't have time to eat properly at all. Too many people came to buy food, and they all thought that they had taken advantage of the situation. The 2 of them only ate a few pieces of meat to fill their stomachs. Wang Wan's arms were tired, and Zhang Xiaobao's waist and legs were sore. After hearing Wang Wan's words, Zhang Xiaobao shook his head slightly. Let's wait for 2 more days. We have to let people see that we are really too busy. More importantly, our reputation is not big enough. We have to let Grandpa's family like our food, and then I'll adjust the ingredients. All right, let's work on the ingredients. In the end, I estimate that we will lose some money every time we sell a dish. The Fishing Association should be open in 2 days. Then, I'll ask Grandpa's family to buy the food. Starting from tomorrow, we will limit the sales, or we will die of exhaustion here. Wang Wan nodded. After having some food and wine, she tilted her head and stared at Zhang Xiaobao for a while. Then she said, if you can really ask Wang Ju's family to buy the food and let Li Longji eat it, I'll admit that you are good at it. Otherwise, it will be a failure. I'll suffer for a few days with you. You have to pay me back. What do you mean by suffering? If it were someone else, they would be happy if their restaurant is so popular. This is money. I've decided to slightly raise the price of some of the food. Those who can afford it will eat it, and those who can't afford it will still eat the original food. Zhang Xiaobao was very confident, as if he were going to make the business of his restaurant a big hit. Eat now and take a rest. You have to go to the morning market tomorrow morning to buy things. After Wang Wan finished speaking, she lowered her head and ate quickly. When she was almost full, she thought of something and said, you should prepare something tonight. We'll eat together tomorrow. It's not worth it to open a shop with you and starve me to gastric problems. That's what I think too. As for the staple food, I'll make pancakes tomorrow morning. I'll buy some crabs and sea hares and roll them in the pancakes. I won't sell them to the people who come here for the braised food. Zhang Xiaobao finished the wine in the bowl. The 2 of them cleaned up quickly, took a cold shower, and slept next to each other in the bedroom. The next day, the store only opened at 4 in the morning. There were already people waiting anxiously outside, and there were even people knocking on the door. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan woke up at 6 in the morning. They went to buy some things first, And when they came back, they were busy again, just like real businessmen. The difference between the two of them and other people was that they had to spare some time to dress each other up. As soon as the door opened, people rushed in from outside. Some of them were packing, and some of them were looking for seats. They were all idlers who did not work and came here to eat. Some of the people who were packing were very unhappy and suggested to Zhang Xiaobao that they should open the restaurant earlier next time, as they still had something to do after they bought things. Zhang Xiaobao did not know what they were going to do. They came to buy things at 9 o'clock. Normally, if they had something to do, it would be too late to open the restaurant at 7 o'clock, which was 7 o'clock in the morning. He did not say this, but nodded and explained with a smile that they should open the restaurant earlier next day. It was a special situation today, and they were busy with other things. When the people who came in to eat saw the various kinds of food, they found that it was indeed so. There were new things added today, and some of them looked more delicate. It was just that the price was more than a little expensive. Some people would complain, but most of them could understand. The food in the restaurant was good to begin with, not to mention the more delicate ones. They had to make money, and they also had to make a living. At noon, some people who had earned money from their work in the morning and were not going to work in the afternoon came to drink some wine, eat some food, and buy some back home. They were done for the day. There were not many people like this, and most of them had to work for another day. Chow Chow, who came on the first day of the restaurant, also came today. When he saw Zhang Xiaobao, he smiled and said, "Sure too, good business. Brother Chow, I'm counting on your auspicious words. Seat, eh? There is a person over there who is almost done eating. I'll reserve a seat for you. You can first see what you want to eat today." Zhang Xiaobao knew that Chow Chow was a helper at the docks. He was also a small leader. The main thing was that he knew a lot. Not only did he have strength, but he also knew how to use rope to make sailor knots, help with the packing, and arrange a place. He was much better than the average person, so there were more than 10 brothers who followed him. In the Hangzhou docks, he was also a little famous. The ships that often came to load and unload goods also liked to let him take over, even if he had to pay more. He was familiar with it, so they could rest assured. Therefore, he was more relaxed. When he had work to do, he could work for 2 days and earn a month's wages of others. The helpers at the docks were also divided according to their working ability. It was not just strength. When it came to skills, their value was naturally different. He didn't come for 2 days, probably because he had a good job. After 2 days of work, the sky was a little cloudy today. It looked like it was going to rain. He probably didn't plan to work. Zhang Xiaobao wanted to get more information from him, so his attitude was the most enthusiastic. As for waiting for the other person to finish eating and leaving a seat for him, that was because he came in the right order. Otherwise, it would be another story. Ordinary shop assistants didn't have such eyesight and skills, but Zhang Xiaobao's current profession was a swindler. A swindler had to be professional. It was the most basic professional quality. This profession was not something that anyone could do. The requirements were too high. It was very difficult to reach the highest level of a swindler who didn't think of himself as a swindler. After waiting for the other person to finish eating, Zhang Xiaobao arranged for Chow Chow to go over. Similarly, he added 2 small plates of side dishes. After glancing at the situation in the restaurant, he felt that he wouldn't be busy for the time being. So he brought out another plate of food and went to Chow Chow's side. "Brother Chow, I specially made some staple food. It's not for sale. I brought it over for you to try. It's all seafood," Zhang Xiaobao said with a smile. For a moment, Chow Chow felt that his identity was different. He inadvertently looked at the other people who were eating. Under the different gazes, he also smiled and said, "Sure too, you are always too polite. It's embarrassing. I have to pay as much as I can. I can't let you do business at a loss." "Brother Chow, that's a long way to go. If I say that I'm not for sale, how can I give you money? When autumn comes, I think my 2 children will come. You can help them at the docks and find a stable boat. Then I will feel at ease. I can't trust others." Zhang Xiaobao proposed a matter. If he always gave others things without asking for anything in return, Others wouldn't believe him. Sure enough, as soon as he said this, Chow Chow was satisfied. He patted his chest and promised, "If you want to talk about other things, I might not be able to help you. Find a boat and get someone to bring it over. No problem, leave it to me." In the future, if you encounter anything related to boats, you can look for me. Thank you. I'm afraid that I don't have any connections outside. In the future, I will rely on Brother Chow. Quickly try it. Zhang Xiaobao's performance was even better. He helped to roll up a pile of seafood and put it in front of Chow Chow. He said, "These are all cheap things. Most people don't eat small crabs. Take a look." Chow Chow didn't hold back. He took a bite. Before he finished chewing, his eyes widened. He nodded at Zhang Xiaobao and praised, "It's delicious. Why hasn't anyone made it before? It's fresh and fragrant." He couldn't think of more words to praise, so he spoke very loudly. It made the other people eat more attentively. Zhang Xiaobao certainly knew that it was delicious. It took a lot of effort. The small crabs were fried, the sea rabbits were blanched, and the small shrimp were boiled in chicken soup. There was also garlic sauce, Shanghai cabbage, and fresh water. All kinds of flavors were present. It would be strange if it wasn't delicious. This thing was specially made for later use. It was not sold in the restaurant to people who eat braised food. Hearing the praise, Zhang Xiaobao quickly said modestly, "Brother Chow, it's good that you think it's edible. I plan to make more and then wrap it in oil paper. In the morning, I will sell it to people who have free time to eat and play. For example, people on the lake, people who visit the scenery of West Lake, and fishing. Sure too, let me tell you. Fishing people are also good. Recently, there is a fishing association in Hangzhou. It's full of rich people. I think the thing you make is good. Sell it to them." Zhang Xiaobao didn't need to say it himself. Chow Chow followed Zhang Xiaobao's words and thought of this matter. Zhang Xiaobao felt that Zhang Xiaobao was very cooperative. "Brother Chow, I don't know him. If I were to look for him, the people around him would probably stop me from afar. Speaking of fishing, I do have some ideas. But you see, my shop sells braised food. I don't dare to say anything else, but when I make it, I really put my heart into it. You can't see the kind of greasy skin on the meat. Also, I sell braised big bones in my restaurant, but I never put the leftovers together and give them to others. I don't want to earn money. If there are leftovers, I just throw them away. In fact, it's good to use them for fishing. Wrap them in gauze, make a net, and half immerse them in water. When the small fish smell the greasy smell, they will naturally go into the net. When you lift the net, you can catch a lot of small fish. It's perfect to use them as bait. For example, if a few people gather together and put more bones in oil, it can become a nest. The big fish will also follow. The big fish also like to eat. There are also small fish. What do you think? I can sell a biscuit with seafood and give it away. It's useless to leave it here, so everyone will go fishing. It's not worrisome and convenient. But you can only buy it in the morning and eat it on the same day. If you eat it at night, you can't touch it or you will get poisoned." As Zhang Xiaobao spoke, he looked at Chow Chow with expectation in his eyes. His meaning was self-evident. Chow Chow was interested. He thought for a while and said to Zhang Xiaobao with a smile, "Good, sure too. I didn't expect you to be so smart. You can come up with such a good idea. I don't fish, but I have a leader at the dock who is in charge of things. He joined the Angling Association and wants to know more people who can help him in the future. So you prepare a few biscuits for me, and I'll take them to see if he went out today. Let him taste them first. If he goes fishing in the afternoon, he can eat them in the evening. He has nothing to do all day. He just needs to charge us a few biscuits and take care of the warehouse near the dock." Okay, I'll prepare them right away. No matter if it's a success or not, I'm willing to accept you as my subordinate. In the future, when you come over, I'll pay for everything. If I charge you 1 copper coin, What's the point of saying that? Business is business. Do you think I'll deliberately come here to eat for free? We'll talk about the future later. Go and prepare. Before Zhang Xiaobao could finish his words, Chow Chow interrupted him. He looked very magnanimous, but his words were not. Zhang Xiaobao smiled honestly and trotted back to the back. After a while, he came out with a basket in his hand. He walked to Chow Chow and said, "I have 15 biscuits for you. There are 10 biscuits for fishing and 10 biscuits for a small roll of fine gauze net. You don't have to worry about it." The remaining 5 biscuits naturally belonged to Chow Chow. Moreover, he couldn't charge him. He was going to help deliver the biscuits. How could he dare to charge him? Seeing Zhang Xiaobao's performance, Chow Chow was even more satisfied. Zhang Xiaobao was sensible and knew what to do. Chow Chow nodded his head and promised a few more words. He finished the food as fast as he could and only drank 1 bowl of wine. When he stood up to pay the bill, Zhang Xiaobao tugged at him and refused. He pushed Chow Chow out of the door and refused no matter what. After Chow Chow saw him out of the door, the diners in the restaurant began to ask about the biscuits. Zhang Xiaobao thought for a while and generously took out the biscuits. He gave each of them 1 biscuit for free. However, he said that he would only sell them out in the future and the price would be very expensive. He asked people to help him find out who was fishing and recommend him. Today was his treat. Except for those who didn't like seafood, the diners all thought it was good. Whether they could recommend it or not, they at least said that they would recommend it. Chow Chow carried the basket out of the door and walked a mile in the direction of the dock. After thinking for a while, he directly took it. The manager thought that all the biscuits were for him. That wouldn't do. He had to leave 5 of his biscuits for his wife and children to try at home. Although Stone's restaurant was small, the food it made was really good. Last year, he followed the manager to a banquet at Wind Riding Pavilion. Now that he thought about it, it seemed to be much worse than Stone's restaurant, especially when it came to the same staple food, biscuits. How did Stone make them? They were thin and chewy. They were chewy. If he made a good relationship with Stone, his wife and children would have a good meal in the future. There was nothing to say about Stone's craftsmanship. Thinking of this, Chow Chow planned to find a shop and get something. He separated the biscuits in the basket and opened the lid. When he looked inside, he was stunned. In addition to a pile of oiled paper packets, there was also a cloth bag and a roll of gauze. He flipped through the paper packets on the right and didn't count them. There were about 20 of them. Then he carried the basket and took out the cloth bag. He opened the lid and saw that there were also more oiled paper packets. It looked like there were more than 5 of them. After looking through each one, he found that 5 of them were rolled biscuits. There was also a big one. Just by looking at it, he knew that it was definitely not pork. He lowered his head and sniffed the smell. He was shocked. It was actually donkey meat. It was a big piece, about 4 catties. There were also 2 small packets. When he opened one, it was cold pork tendons. The other one was candy. When he saw those things, Chow Chow couldn't help but look back in the direction of the restaurant. He nodded silently and said to himself, "Stone is really a good person. He prepared everything and even gave me more. The candy is for my children. I have to do this no matter what. Otherwise, how can I have the face to eat in the future?" The next morning, Zhang Xiaobao opened the door at 8 o'clock in the morning. It was half an hour earlier than yesterday. The people who were waiting were very satisfied. Yesterday, he said that he should be early. Even if it was a quarter of an hour earlier, it was still giving face. Not to mention that it was half an hour earlier. Zhang Xiaobao yawned. It seemed that he didn't have a good rest. Wang also had dark circles under her eyes. However, she still appeared to be very energetic. The customers came to eat, not to see how you look. Just as the 2 groups of people were about to eat, Chow Chow hurried in from outside. He anxiously said to Zhang Xiaobao, "Quick, Stone, hurry up. Prepare 20 portions. I'll give them to you immediately. I'll take them away." "How much?" Zhang Xiaobao and Wei Wei were stunned. They opened their mouths and asked, "Brother Chow, it's done." "You don't trust me?" "Yesterday, I went back just in time. The person in charge was going fishing in the afternoon. I gave him 10 portions. This morning, When I just arrived at the dock, he found me and said that he wanted 20 portions. He will leave immediately. You have to calculate how much it will cost." Chow Chow had taken care of the matter. He spoke with confidence. Zhang Xiaobao immediately turned around and went into the kitchen. After a while, he came out with a basket. He handed it to Chow Chow and said, "Brother Chow, you haven't eaten yet, right? I brought you a portion. It's free today. Starting tomorrow, it'll be 30 coins per portion. Today, I added something. Brother Chow, you worked hard." Chow Chow didn't stand on ceremony with Zhang Xiaobao. He took the basket, nodded, and said, "Okay, 30 coins is not expensive. If you change to a different restaurant, your portion will be cheap for 300 coins. Then I'll leave now." After he finished speaking, Chow Chow hurriedly left. Zhang Xiaobao looked at the other person's gradually disappearing figure. The corners of his mouth revealed a trace of a smile. Just like that, a day passed in a busy and dull manner. The next day, before Zhang Xiaobao could open the door, a knocking sound came from outside. Then someone shouted, Sure to, open the door. Quickly open the door. It's me, Chow Chow." Zhang Xiaobao was in the middle of cooking when he heard the noise. He came out from the back, unlatched the door, and let Chow Chow in. Chow Chow didn't come alone. He was followed by 2 people. As soon as he saw one of the 2 people following him, Xiaobao's heart calmed down. He had seen that person before. He was a servant from his grandfather's house. However, from the look in his eyes, he didn't seem to recognize him. "Sure too, don't pour tea. I don't have time to drink. Do you have anything? We'll come and get it. Also, give me 10 big bones. I'll give you 2 strings of money. You don't need to give me the change. Your basket can't be taken back. You can wrap it in cloth." Chow Chow quickly said when he saw that Zhang Xiaobao was going to pour tea. Zhang Xiaobao didn't refuse. He took the money, nodded, and turned back. After a while, he came back with 3 baskets. 1 for each person. There were also 3 cloth bags. He said, "Brother Chow, thank you for your hard work. Here are 3 baskets. You can eat them on the way." While speaking, he gave the 3 bags to the 3 people. Chow Chow didn't say anything, but the 2 people's eyes lit up. When they looked at Zhang Xiaobao again, they felt that he was much more pleasing to the eye. They took the baskets and walked out. When they reached the door, the servant of Zhang Xiaobao's grandfather turned around and said, "Prepare 100 baskets before noon. Someone will come and get it. Pay when the time comes. Don't forget. Otherwise, you can't afford to be punished." 100 baskets. "Brother Chow, so many people are fishing?" Zhang Xiaobao asked Chow Chow with a surprised look. Wang Ju stared at him and scolded. "Just do what I ask you to do. Don't ask what you shouldn't ask. It won't do you any good to know too much. Let me tell you, the baskets made at noon can only be better than yesterday's. Otherwise, be careful of your head. Do you hear me?" "I hear you, I hear you. Yes, you did well. Otherwise, be careful of your head. Take care, take care." Zhang Xiaobao repeatedly bowed and nodded. But in his heart, he thought angrily, "Brat, I can't teach you a lesson now, but you dare to teach me a lesson? Wait for me. I'll let you know who is the one who is careful of their head." After sending the servant away, Zhang Xiaobao let out a long breath. He didn't close the door. He put the things in place and walked to the back. He said to the busy Wang Wan, "Okay, there is one last step. Let's see what the other party will do. I'm afraid they're stupid." Wang Wan took the last bit of food out of the pot and asked, "Grandpa's family is here?" "Yes, that brat still dares to scold me. If it was the inner courtyard of our family, he would definitely not speak like that. If he offends people for no reason, it will cause trouble for the main family. I'll ask my grandpa to teach him a lesson. I'm not deliberately taking revenge." Zhang Xiaobao picked up the big pot, turned to the shelf outside, and began to put new things. Wang Wan pursed her lips into a smile and said, "I know. You're not seeking revenge. You're helping that kid. He's grateful to you for being beaten up. You used the most direct method to show him the way of life. You're as great as a lighthouse in the dark night of the sea. Madam knows me best. Why am I so kind? I plan to buy a big mirror and put it in the bedroom. The first thing I do when I wake up every morning is to kowtow to myself in the mirror. Zhang Xiaobao said with a smile. Chow Chow and the other two went out, each carrying a basket. Chow Chow's status was much lower than the other two's. He wanted to help them carry the basket several times, but they refused, saying that he carried too many things and walked too slowly. They were afraid of wasting time. On the way, the three opened the cloth bags. They did not eat breakfast. The two's cloth bags were filled with seafood and a bag of salty pig ears. In addition to these two things, Chow Chow's cloth bag also had a few notes. Chow Chow secretly glanced at the two and checked the amount of money. There was a total of 350 copper coins. After calculating, he took out 1,500 copper coins, which was the usual 5 cents for the rolls and 15 cents for the 10 large bones. The remaining 350 copper coins were all given to him by Shirtu. He did not even take the money in the basket. While feeling grateful, Chow Chow was puzzled. Why did Shirtu prepare so many baskets? Did he know that he would come to take a lot of things? The cloth bags were also the same. Usually, when they were packed, they would just wrap them in oil paper and tie them to others. Was it specially prepared for him? Chow Chow stealthily put the money into his pocket. He was even more determined to get customers for the store. Today he had earned 350 copper coins, which was enough for him to work for 6 to 7 days. If it were someone else, it would take more than half a month or even a month's worth of wages. The other two did not know that Chow Chow had received money and also thought that the food was delicious. They had never eaten it before. Yesterday, they only heard that it was delicious. When they came today, they planned to buy one for themselves. They did not expect that the other party would be so considerate and give them a set of pig ears. After the three finished eating, they sped up and sent the baskets to the side of West Lake, where there was a place specially used for fishing. Naturally, someone would take the baskets and use silver needles to test for poison. Someone even took out a roll and ate it. When noon came, if they did not feel uncomfortable, they could give it to others. At this time, the weather was still a little cold, but there were still many people gathered under the shade of the trees. Wang Ju was leading the group, talking and laughing with the others. From time to time, he would introduce the use of fishing equipment. Beside him, there was a man wearing a bamboo hat. He was silent and did not raise his head. Compared to yesterday, the number of guards in the surroundings had more than doubled. It seemed that there were guards everywhere. When Wang Ju was talking to others, he would occasionally glance at this person. He seemed to be very careful. When the food was delivered, they planned to eat it at noon, but the man wearing the bamboo hat said, "Give me one to try first. I want to see how good it is." Okay, but the person who tested it just... Wang Ju agreed and then hesitated. It's just a braised food store. The owner of the store would not poison it. Give me one. Besides, the doctor is next to him. What are you afraid of? The man wearing the bamboo hat said again. Okay. Wang Ju took a deep breath and asked someone to bring the food over. He opened a few oil paper bags and picked out a good-looking roll. He held it with both hands and handed it over. The man in the bamboo hat received the cake and took a bite. Then he slowly chewed and swallowed a mouthful. He smacked his lips twice and praised, "Good craftsmanship. The cake is baked well. It's not inferior to the cakes of you. Genu Restaurant." That's right, Genu Restaurant. They specialize in selling cakes. Also, the ingredients inside are all processed in different ways. Opening a small shop is really a waste of talent. Yes, it's a waste of talent. When I ate it yesterday, I also thought so. Why don't I go to your place? Do you specialize in making things? Wang Ju suggested. The man wearing the bamboo hat shook his head. There's no need. No matter how good his food is, I can't eat better. It's not like you don't know who makes the food I usually eat. It's a pity that I won't be able to eat it for a while. Ask the person in the store what else he knows how to make. Yes. No matter how good his food is, it won't work. If it's brought to the house, Every time we eat it, we have to test it for poison first. Hot food will be cold by the time it's ready to eat. Besides, the food he makes is just average. Wang Ju followed up. When the people around them heard the conversation, they had already guessed who the man wearing the bamboo hat was. It seemed that the only person who could make Wang Ju so respectful was the people who guessed it all became nervous and excited. Chapter 1067. The customers who passed by and came to eat the braised food were very clear about how the business of the store was doing. As soon as the notice was written and put out, those who had not found a satisfactory job or were working as waiters in other stores all had their own ideas. It did not matter if they were illiterate. Naturally, there would be literate people who would explain to others after seeing the notice. Being able to read was also a symbol of status. There were even parents who borrowed their children from school and brought them to the door to let them read aloud to them. In fact, they were showing off to others that their children were literate. The content of the notice was very simple. There were 2 big words at the top: hiring. Below that, there was a row of requirements. One of them was that they must be no younger than 16 and no older than 25. The other was that they must be able to endure hardships. They must work at least 18 hours a day. If necessary, they might have to work more. However, there was no limit to their experience. Even if they had not worked elsewhere before, they could still work as waiters. This time, a total of 4 waiters were recruited. They were responsible for the chores in the store and the delivery of food. The salary would be determined according to the situation of the job. However, the basic salary was 5 copper coins a day. As for the other rewards, it was uncertain at the moment. There would be a trial period of 3 days. 8 people would be recruited. In the end, 4 people would be retained. However, before the trial period, 50 people could be allowed to come in contact with the manager. After seeing the contents of the notice, many people who had ideas shook their heads and left. They felt that the working time was too long. 18 hours a day was the minimum, leaving only 6 hours for rest. Working in the store was too tiring. If the salary was higher, it would be fine. However, it was only 5 copper coins a day and less than 150 copper coins a month. It was clearly bullying. As for the rewards mentioned above, it was not up to the boss. If the boss said to give it to you, then it would be given. If the boss did not want to give it, then he could just find a random reason to keep the money. If it was 10 years ago, 100 copper coins a month would be a job that everyone would fight to do. However, it was not 10 years now. Just find something to do, and it would be more than 100 copper coins a month. Even if a child was willing to study hard and be ranked in the top 10 in school, they would still be rewarded with more than 100 copper coins or items. 150 copper coins, truly, can buy many things. If it's just oil, salt, soy sauce, vinegar, tea, and grain, 100 copper coins is enough for a family to live well for a month. But in the Great Tang, we don't just need to eat our fill. We need to eat well, right? How can 100 copper coins be enough to buy a mirror, 2 sets of comfortable clothes, and some delicious meat? Among the people who were reading the notice, some of them began to talk. A person wearing fine linen and waving a folding fan in his hand spoke to the people next to him in a loud voice. The surrounding people nodded in agreement. Someone even added, "Isn't that so? More is more. I heard that the things they buy are the property of the rich compared to the things they buy in Xinlua. The money we Tang people earn in a day's work can take at least 10 days to buy the things they need to buy. But we're not from Xinlua. We're from the Great Tang. How can a country be the same as a country? It's too little. If it were me, I wouldn't go. I'm already past my prime." There were many such voices, but there were still people who were willing to stand there. Most of them were people who met the age requirement. Perhaps they thought that doing things for 18 hours was not the same as doing things for 18 hours, so they still had time to spare. Most importantly, by becoming a waiter, they might have the opportunity to come into contact with the delicious recipes of the braised food shop. If they could learn it, wouldn't they be able to find a place further away and open a small shop as well? When it was time to close at night, the people had been recruited. There were less than 50 people. The wages and working hours of the braised food shop made many people shrink back. A total of 31 people stood at the door, waiting for the shopkeeper to take a look. Zhang Xiaobao looked like he was about to die of exhaustion. He supported his waist with his hands and stood at the door with a grin. He said to Wang Wan beside him, "No matter what, I have to recruit people today. If I work for another 2 days, I'll lose 10 years of my life. I can't take it anymore." Yes, we have to recruit people today. I'm tired too. Wang Wan frowned and said. Her eyes swept over the 31 people, and she waved her hand and said, "Enough, come in with me. I want to take a good look and see which one is pleasing to the eye." As she spoke, she and Xiaobao turned around and went in. 31 people rushed in, and each one of them found an empty spot to stand. Zhang Xiaobao put down his hands that were supporting his waist, smiled honestly, and spoke first. "Others call me Stone. My surname is Zhang. I don't think you're old, so don't keep calling me boss. I'm an honest person. As long as you can work, it's fine. In the future, call me Brother Zhang." Haha, it sounds more intimate. I'll go prepare some braised food for you to eat. Let's eat some. Okay, go quickly. Before Zhang Xiaobao could finish speaking, Wang Wan pushed him into the back kitchen. When the 31 people heard Zhang Xiaobao's words, their hearts relaxed. They felt that this boss was not bad. He was honest, and he wanted to give them some braised food. They thought that in the future, their work in the shop would not be too hard. At least, there would be no problem in eating. Just as this idea appeared in their hearts, but before it could germinate and grow into a towering tree, Wang Wan's face became cold and she said to them, "Look at you. What are you doing here? Are you VIP? Let Stone make Lu Wei for you. Your eyes are so big, can't you see life? Didn't you see that the people just left, and the things on the table haven't been cleaned up? Stand by the side, clean up the bowls and chopsticks on the table, and send them to the back. 2 more people go to the back to wash the dishes." The others set the table and swept the floor. A few people went to the door. There were still people outside who threw things. The shop's face is face. Go and clean it up. What are you looking for? No broom? Don't you know how to pick it up with your hands? Are you VIP? Let me tell you, if you work in my shop, you have to be diligent. You have to have work in your eyes. Don't stay in my shop if you're all stupid. I'll say this. If you don't want to work, leave as soon as possible. If you want to continue, do your work immediately. I don't keep idlers in my shop. Hurry up, what are you looking at me for? Go and work. For a moment, most of the 31 people felt the warmth in their hearts was suppressed by the 1,000-year-old ice. At that moment, 14 people glared at Wang Wan and walked out of the shop angrily. They did not forget to turn around and spit twice. They also left while cursing. The remaining 17 people temporarily endured and began to look for things to do. There was strength in numbers. Soon, the whole shop was cleaned up. The tables were also wiped clean with a cloth. There was also no other debris at the door. The sound of dishes being washed came from the back of the kitchen. The person washing the dishes was puzzled. The shop was not big, but there were many bowls. Other small shops only bought bowls according to the number of tables. The bigger shops used porcelain bowls. However, although the braised food shop was not big, there were hundreds of plates, bowls, and chopsticks. It was unknown what the owner and female owner were thinking after saving for an entire day. At this moment, Zhang Xiaobao came out of the kitchen. Very timely, the others had finished their work. He came out with a basin full of various kinds of braised food. When they saw the braised food, other than the person washing the dishes who was still busy and anxious, the others revealed a happy expression and waited for the food to be served. Ha ha, ha ha ha. Have you been waiting for a long time? I don't know what you want to eat. I thought for a while and decided. Give me a little of each. Eat all of them. It's clean? That's great. You're quite diligent. In the future, I'll leave the shop to you. Eat all of them. The basin that Zhang Xiaobao carried was not small. It seemed to be at least 8 kilograms. He was still as simple and honest as before. The people who did not wash the dishes were about to take the basin and put it on the table to eat, when Wang Wan spoke again. Stone, what do you think they are? They are not masters who eat. They are shop assistants. Can't you cut some skin? Look, what is this? Pig's ears. You actually gave them pig's ears. What should I say about you? Are they people who eat pig's ears? Do they have that kind of life? Take out the chicken heart, chicken liver, and liver. Keep the broken pieces, and take away the rest. Yo, you prodigal stone. Chicken wings, you are so generous and rich. Don't you know how much a chicken wing costs? What kind of life am I living with you? Do you treat people as family members when you catch them? Let me tell you, if I don't exist in this house, you will starve to death. Don't you know how to settle accounts? Wang Wan's words made the people in the shop confused again. They finally understood that the owner was not bad, but the female shopkeeper was different. The owner was usually bullied by the female shopkeeper. What a pity, what a good owner. They thought that if they knew that the idea was thought of by the seemingly simple and honest owner in front of them, they would probably bang their heads against the wall. They would not stop until they were bleeding and knocked out. The person who was about to take the basin looked at the basin and stood there awkwardly. He did not know whether to take it or not. If he took it, the female shopkeeper said that there was something valuable in it. It would make it seem like he had to eat it. If he did not take it, the owner would be holding it. Wang Wan glared at the person who was about to take the basin. What are you looking at? Still looking? Quickly take it and put it on the table. Carefully pick out the things that you shouldn't eat with your chopsticks. Stupid. After she finished speaking, she watched the person go to take the basin. Wang Wan turned around and went back to the kitchen. Then, the people outside heard a voice coming from inside. Washing the dishes, not smashing the dishes. Why are you making such a big noise? Even people standing outside the shop heard it. What? Are you planning to change your profession? Go and be a musician. I'm not talking about you guys. You're so clumsy. I'll say it here today. If you break a plate, 5 copper coins. If you break a pair of chopsticks, 2 copper coins. If you break a plate, 3 copper coins. If you break a bowl, 10 copper coins. In the future, it will be paid from your wages. No one is allowed to be lazy. Who washed the plate? This plate in the basin come out. You? Are you blind? You still have the face to stand out. Do you see the oil on the plate? Hey, you dare to use a rag to wipe it? Who are you kidding? Wash it again for me. If it's not clean, I won't give you any food in the morning. I still say the same thing. If you can't do it, leave early. Don't wait for me to chase you away. I'm annoyed. You over there, change the water. You want to wash all the dishes with a basin of water? Lazy. Go to the back and get the water. When the voice stopped, Wang Wan walked out and continued to glare at the people. She found a place to sit and crossed her legs. Her voice was not loud, but it could be heard muttering. I don't see a smart one. Stupid as hell. In my opinion, 5 copper coins a day is more than enough. Humph, this family will be ruined sooner or later. Eat, eat, everyone who sees food becomes spirited. After she finished speaking, the whole restaurant became quiet. After 10 breaths, some people came out of the kitchen. Some people were originally outside. Suddenly, 9 people left. They were not even willing to spit. They just looked back at the 6 people left and shook their heads. They meant to say that they had offended such a female boss. Zhang Xiaobao also stopped picking things out of the basin with his chopsticks. He stood up, rubbed his hands, and squeezed out a smile that was uglier than crying. He said awkwardly, This is not enough for 8 people to try it out. There are still 2 missing. What are you talking about? 3-legged toads are hard to find, but 2-legged toads are everywhere. There are only 6 left. That's enough. You 6 don't eat first. Go and wash the dishes in the kitchen. We'll talk when you come back. I'm telling you, I've already washed them. After Wang Wan finished speaking, she coldly snorted and walked towards the bedroom. When she arrived at the back door, she stopped and said without turning her head, Sure to, pick out the food and put it away properly. If I find out that you dare to give them food, you can sleep with them on the table and stools outside at night. Don't forget to heat up the bathwater. You're making me sweat all over." Zhang Xiaobao looked at the door where Wang Wan disappeared. He raised his hand and patted his forehead. Then he said to the remaining 6 people, "Don't look so fierce. In fact, she's a good person. That, each of you have a taste first. Then, quickly wash the dishes. We'll eat later." The 6 people looked at each other. 5 of them walked towards the kitchen. The kitchen was not very big. It was a little crowded with 5 people. The last person looked at Zhang Xiaobao and asked, "Brother Zhang, are we sleeping here tonight? Isn't there a special place for us to stay? I used to make soup pancakes in other shops. If you want to use me, can you find a place for me to stay? Sleeping on the table and chairs won't help me get tired. Okay, there's another room that's empty. It used to be a place for storing sundries. That family moved away, so it's empty. Soup pancakes are good. Actually, go ahead and walk along the street. The shop in front is not bad. The owner is also good. If you want to be an apprentice, you can go there." Zhang Xiaobao could see that this person was not lying. However, he understood the situation of his shop. If this person had some ambition, he would really stay in the shop. It would be a hindrance to him. Therefore, he wanted to show this person the way to the shop where he learned the soup pancakes from. Of course, if the person in front of him thought that his skills were good and did not want to be an apprentice in someone else's shop, then it was his own business. The person who asked the question understood. After thinking for a while, he said to Zhang Xiaobao with embarrassment, "Brother Zhang, then I, go. Wait a minute." As he spoke, Xiaobao took a piece of oil paper and went to the table to wrap up a large bag of braised food. There were all kinds of food. He handed it over and said, "Bring it over to eat. Give it to your new boss. He's looking for an apprentice. You'll definitely be able to do it." "Brother Zhang, I don't want it. When this person was about to say that he did not want it, Wang Wan came back from the door. When she saw the situation here, she wanted to say something. However, Zhang Xiaobao and Wei Wei shook their heads. Wang Wan swallowed what she wanted to say and pretended that she did not see it. She said to Zhang Xiaobao, "I was over there just now. Why did I hear you say that you want to let them live in the empty room? There will be more and more people in the future. Don't we need to prepare things at home? If you let them live there, where will they put the things? They can sleep outside. It's not cold. I'll go out and buy some old summer mats and a few old blankets. They can sleep on anything. It's fine as long as they can sleep. If they can't sleep, they can only say that they are not sleepy." After that, Wang Wan went out. He did not know where she was going to buy old things. It was already late. Go, you go too. The soup pancake shop can't be closed now. He does business almost 24 hours a day. He is not afraid of closing it. Knock on the door. Someone inside can show you. I guess someone is thinking about making new soup pancakes. Zhang Xiaobao stuffed the wrapped things to the person and said. This person was not stupid. He saw Zhang Xiaobao shaking his head just now. He suddenly found that this shop was not what it looked like. The owner had to listen to his wife, but his wife was like that. However, she did not care about the things that were given out. It was very strange. He took the owner and walked out. When he reached the door, he turned back and said to Zhang Xiaobao, "Brother Zhang, I know you are a good person. Okay, go. Don't give me the card." Zhang Xiaobao waved his hand. This person left, but he kept thinking, what card? Could it be that he was playing the Monopoly game? Of course, he did not know what Zhang Xiaobao meant by shaking his head. He was telling Wang that there was no need to chase this person away. He was leaving and did not fit the target. After a while, Zhang Xiaobao also went out and put away the recruitment sign at the door. He had achieved his goal. If there was no target among the remaining 5 people, it would be useless to put up a recruitment sign. It would only cause more trouble. There would be more people coming to ask about it. Then, he would have to think of a way to chase them away. It was very tiring. After a while, the remaining 5 people came out of the kitchen. The bowls and chopsticks were also washed. Let's eat. Come and eat. Tonight, you guys can eat first. I will think of a way to find a place to stay. Zhang Xiaobao asked them to come over and eat. Of course, he picked the leftover braised food that was not good. He himself used a wine stick to boil a pot of wine. There were about 300 grams of ginseng wine. There were all kinds of important ingredients in it. When Wang Wan came back, they would drink some to warm their bodies and improve their blood circulation. Although both of them were in good health, they were tired after a few days. Not only were they tired physically, but they were also tired mentally. While there was still time, he ran to the kitchen and fried mutton with scallions and cucumbers with garlic. When Wang Wan came back, he also made a big bowl of radish soup. In fact, he knew that Wang Wan liked to drink shredded potatoes, but he could not get any potatoes now. As for the staple food, it was biscuits used to collect seafood. He took out a lot of biscuits and gave them to the 5 people who were working. The 5 people ate the braised food with different expressions. Some were surprised, some were thinking, some were curious, and some were indifferent. But when they saw the boss coming out of the kitchen and smelled the food, they all had the same expression, which was puzzlement. Just by smelling the food, they knew that the boss in front of them was good at cooking. Why did he only make braised food? Couldn't he add stir-fried food? It seemed that the boss knew what they were thinking, and it seemed that he was willing to talk more. When they looked at the boss, he spoke. Actually, I would like to cook stir-fried food, but there are not enough people. Today, you guys eat braised food and biscuits. When I have time, I will cook something else for you guys. I am really tired today. Brother Zhang, don't worry. From tomorrow onwards, you won't be tired anymore. We are here, a waiter said with a smile. The other 4 people also smiled and nodded. Then, when they looked at the person who spoke, there was a different meaning in their eyes. After a while, Wang Wan came back with a person behind her. This person was carrying a bag. As soon as they entered the door, Wang Wan stared at them and shouted at them. Are you blind? Don't you see there is work? Eat to death. All you know is to eat. Lazy people, come here. Who are you waiting for instead of packing your own things? Then she walked to the counter and took out 2 coins. She walked back to the door and gave them to the person who came back with the bag. Here, what 3 coins? Look at how slow you are walking. You wasted my time. I will deduct 1 coin. We agreed on 3 coins. If it was 2 coins, I wouldn't come. How can you only give me 2 coins? It is not easy for me to do this job. 2 coins. Do you want it? If you don't want it, you can carry it back. I don't need you. I will ask the waiter to carry it. 3 coins is to come back quickly. Look at how long you have been walking. I think 2 coins is too much. If you don't want it, I will take it back. Wang Wan did not wait for him to finish. She began to find excuses to deduct 1 coin. The other party was also an honest person. He sullenly took the money and left without looking back. The 5 people who were recruited understood even more how stingy this female boss was. She actually dared to bully even a person who was resistant to death. Move faster. Don't make dust everywhere. Don't think that you are cleaning. We still have to eat here. You all have problems. Wang Wan changed the topic and fired at the 5 people. The 5 people endured and carefully took the things back. They did not dare to untie the rope. They had to wait for their boss to finish eating. When they returned to their seats, they looked at Wang Wan. They wanted to sit, but did not dare to. Why are you looking at me? Why don't you stop eating? Go, sit on the side. Pie. Sure too, you gave them pie? You, forget it. You're tired today. Your body won't be able to take it if you do anything else. Let them have it easy. From tomorrow onwards, let them choose someone to do their own thing. I'll decide what they do and what they use. Wang Wan said a few more words. Then she sat opposite Zhang Xiaobao and ate. She did not forget to glare at Zhang Xiaobao. She meant to say, you came up with the idea, and now I am the bad guy. Are you satisfied? Zhang Xiaobao winked at Wang Wan. He picked up the hot wine, poured it into a small cup, and pushed it in front of Wang Wan, indicating that she should drink. In the presence of outsiders, Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan would not talk about other things. They talked about the trivial matters in the shop, such as how the chopsticks were old, how they should have saved the money for the chopsticks when they bought the shop, how one of the table legs was too short, and how they should find something to cushion it. The 5 people who were hired felt that it was normal. However, they did not know that the people who were talking about the trivial matters in the shop would be studying the political, military, economic, cultural, and other things of the Tang Dynasty if they were in a different environment and identity. But now, they were so ordinary that they couldn't be any more ordinary. No matter how you looked at them, they were a couple who ran a couple's restaurant. The male owner had a wife who ran around. The wife was very scheming, while the male owner was honest, simple and honest. Furthermore, he was a good cook. After they finished eating, Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan naturally went to the back to take a shower. The 5 people who were hired did not have this privilege. They did not dare to squeeze in, so they could only wash their faces casually. They did not even dare to brush their teeth. They could only deal with it today. That night, Wang Wan and Zhang Xiaobao lay on the bed. Although Hangzhou was very hot this month, they did not like to sleep on a summer mat. The main reason was that there was no good summer mat. The ordinary summer mat was spread under the bed. If they slept on it, there would be marks on their bodies. Zhang Xiaobao did not mind the heat. He put an arm under Wang Wan's head, controlled his breathing, and listened carefully. Wang Wan was also listening. After a while, the 2 of them looked at each other. Xiaobao said, "It's actually 5 of them. I can tell from their eyes that you did that. If you can still tolerate it, you must have some ulterior motive. Also, when I saw them eating, just now, they didn't look like they were faking it. The only one who looked like it was from our family. I'm so disappointed. You know, sometimes it's lonely without an opponent. Now I finally understand what it means to be cold at a high place. It's very reasonable under normal circumstances. Under normal circumstances, for every 1,000 meters, the temperature drops by 6 degrees. If you go any higher, you will fly out of the atmosphere. Although it's called a high place, it can actually be said that the earth is above your head. It depends on your body posture. If it were not for the fact that the intelligence system at home could not find out, why would we bother? Sigh. The other party did not give it for nothing. They actually forced you to do it personally. They should be proud." Wang Wan continued Zhang Xiaobao's words. The purpose of her coming out with Zhang Xiaobao was very simple. First, it was to make the other party in Beijing vigilant and change the idea of causing trouble in Beijing. Even if it was to reduce the danger, it was fine. Second, it was to let the other party in Hangzhou think that Hangzhou was temporarily empty. They could see that the other party had always been treating them as a real opponent. These 2 points were achieved. Third, it was to create an opportunity to open her own restaurant. Then she would let the food into Wang Ju's house and be valued by Li Longji and the others. Then her family would buy things from her restaurant. The 2 of them were tired, but they definitely did not say that they were tired to the extent that they showed. This was not a problem at all. Even if they were a few times more tired, they could still bear it. When sleeping at night, the 2 of them could quickly enter a deep sleep state. They could do it through a long-term training habit and psychological suggestion. For someone like her, she was a genius to begin with. Furthermore, she had the support of her family, so the training she received was the strongest and most professional. When it came to her own bawang flower training, the most basic thing was not fighting, or firearms. The most basic training for her was makeup, nutrition, and sleep. Shooting and fighting were the next level. The selection of bawang flower was not based on a person's hard work. Instead, it included talent when it was eliminated. As for Xiaobao's talent, there was no need to talk about it. The early learning and training were all part of the foundation. Later on, when he had money, he found someone to learn from, and it was more powerful. The 2 of them were like this. The reason they could not endure it was to make others feel that it was normal. Then they would recruit people. Naturally, if the other party had influence in Hangzhou and was smart enough, they would definitely think of ways to enter the braised food store. This was because the store could send things to Wang Ju's family. This was the most important point. From the looks of the people they recruited today, they had succeeded. The other party was ambitious, and there were people in Hangzhou. As expected, people came. The only thing they did not expect was that 5 people came at once. They were all people who did not come for the salary, but for a certain purpose. Even their own family's intelligence organization had sent someone over. He was not bad and knew the key to this place. It was just that the other party did not recognize the two of them. It was very simple for the two of them to recognize him. As long as the intelligence personnel's ability had not reached the level of perfection, they would never be able to get rid of the traces left behind by their training. Every training system had its own training methods. Therefore, this kind of training concept would be directly reflected on the trainees. Of course, the other party also did not recognize the two of them. He was not in the inner courtyard with the two of them every day. He was far from that special magnetic field reaction of the body. Why was it said that some couples who had been together for a long time could know what the other party was thinking with just a look, a movement, or even when the other party was not doing anything? Besides being used to it, it was also because they had adapted to each other's magnetic field fluctuations. At first, they thought that Zhang Xiaobao was making a fuss over nothing, and that the strategy he used would not have any effect. Unexpectedly, they really caught the fish. Thinking of this, Wang Wan said to Zhang Xiaobao again, "When it comes to deceiving people, you are really good at it. How did you know that they would take the bait?" "How would I know? There is no 100% certainty in deceiving people. It has never happened before. If one plan does not work, another plan can be made. As long as the other party has the desire, then we can make use of it. To be honest, I am ready to fail. I am not as confident as before when I deceived the officials." Zhang Xiaobao listened to the movement there while talking to Wang Wan. Wang Wan did not follow Zhang Xiaobao's topic. She knew that Zhang Xiaobao was criticizing the officials at that time. Of course, it was not Zhang Xiaobao's fault. The officials at that time were really a little too much. They were so overboard that the people clearly knew, and the officials themselves also knew that they had done something wrong. Moreover, there were many shameful actions that were exposed. But what did the officials do? They were just lying with their eyes wide open. Was it wrong? Yes. Did others know? The whole world knows, and I know, but I just don't admit it. What can you do to me? I'm shameless. I don't care about human affairs. I don't care about ethics. You people can only watch and stare at me in disbelief. I am an official. I want to tell you through my actions that it is useless no matter how much evidence you have. You should never think of using public opinion to restrict me or threaten me. I want to let you gradually know the reality of this country. I want you to accept my actions. If I say that I did not do it, then I did not do it, even if it is the truth and the whole world knows." But even so, Wang Wan did not want to hear it, because she was numb. Anyway, it was already like that. Zhang Xiaobao could not change it no matter what he said. It would only make people upset. Why bother? It seemed that the officials had achieved their goal. She changed the topic. "Xiaobao, I can see it too. The 5 of them all came here with ulterior motives. However, one of them is ours, while the other 4 are actually divided into 3 groups. One group has 2 people, and the other 2 groups have 1 person each. Which one do you think is which?" "I don't know which one is which. I know that the force definitely sent people in. As for which group, we need to observe. If it is not 2 people, then it is 1 person." Zhang Xiaobao said as if he was saying a tongue twister. "Do I need you to say that? It is just a small shop, but there are actually people from 4 forces. That is interesting. Since it is, so we should let the other 4 people enjoy it. We need to take care of our own people. You also need to find a place," Wang Wan said with a smile. There were 5 people in total. One of them was from the intelligence department of Zhang Xiaobao and Wang family, and the other 4 belonged to 3 different forces or organizations. From this, it seemed that Hangzhou was also a gathering place. Of course, it did not matter if there were 4 forces, but her own person had to help him and let him relax a little. However, she could not reveal her identity immediately. She had to do it at a critical moment. After hearing Wang Wan's words, Zhang Xiaobao moved his arm and supported Wang Wan's head a little. They really needed to find a place. Now that 5 people were living in the shop in front, it was not only inconvenient for the 2 of them to do things, but also inconvenient for the 5 people. After considering the layout of the surrounding houses, Zhang Xiaobao said, "There is a narrow street behind our braised food shop, and there is a courtyard diagonally there. When we bought this house that day, didn't that house also put up a notice to rent and sell? Let's see if they sold it. If they didn't sell it, let's rent it first. I will buy more large vats and make more pickles. Whether it is to sell them or to take them with us when we leave, it will be fine. Also, we have to specially prepare some ingredients. Since the burrito has been sent in, I think my mom will also want to try it. We have to make something for our mothers to eat. Seeing that they are by our side, it will be unreasonable if we don't take care of them. When the time comes, we will arrange for the 5 of them to sleep there. They can fight and play among themselves. Let's help our person and make him feel better. Rent a house? Why don't we buy it? Oh, right, we are people who don't have money. If we buy it directly, people will be suspicious. It is fine to rent it. I have seen the courtyard. There are 2 courtyards at the front and back. The front courtyard is bigger and is about 30 square meters. The back courtyard is about 16 square meters. There are 3 rooms. Wang Wan leaned her head on Zhang Xiaobao's body and closed her eyes. Zhang Xiaobao did not continue to listen to the movements outside and also fell asleep. The 2 of them fell asleep, but the 5 people outside could not sleep. 5 people and 4 big tables were put together into a place where 2 people could sleep. The other 3 people naturally had to sleep on the ground. In order to be able to sleep on the ground, the 5 of them had a competition. The main reason was that they could sleep on the ground with the other 2 people. They could talk to each other softly and improve communication. This was a rare opportunity because, at the end, 1 person had to leave. The other party only said that they would recruit 4 people, but now there were 5 people. No one wanted to leave, not even the organization that had 2 people in. 2 people were not a lot. It would be better if all 5 of them were. 1 more person meant 1 more helper, not to mention the other 3 people. In the end, the 4 tables were put together, and the 2 people sleeping on the table were also close to each other. Then the problem was solved. The 5 of them also said their ages and surnames. Unexpectedly, 4 of them were Zhang and 1 was Wang. No one knew what they were thinking. It seemed that these 2 surnames gave people the feeling that they were more common. The only one with the surname Wang was an intelligence agent of the Zhang family and the Wang family. His surname was Wang, and he followed the main family surname. As for whether the other 4 were really surnamed Zhang, he did not care. Because one of the 2 was there, he did not win the competition, so he was squeezed to the table with the other person. On the first day, sleeping time naturally would not be wasted. The 3 people below were lying there and whispering. The intelligence agent of the Zhang family and the Wang family was called Wang Gang. He did not need to fake his name. This name was so common that many people would give it, just like Wang Wan's name. He said to the person next to him, who was called Zhang Yu, "Third brother, I think that although the restaurant is small, the food is really good. I ate braised meat at night, and now I feel hungry again, so I ate a lot. I ate 3 pieces of the pancakes. What do you think?" Zhang Yu was facing up. When he heard Wang Gang's words, he nodded. He did not care about the pain in his neck and responded, Yes, I think so too." "Second brother, where are you from? You don't sound like a local." "Not a local. I came from Hunan, which is far away from Hangzhou." "Third brother, what do you think of the female boss?" Wang Gang replied and asked again. Zhang Yu pretended to think, and then said, "She is very good. I have seen many people like her. In fact, they are not bad." He did not dare to say bad things. There were 5 people now. If someone said bad things behind his back, the people below would hear it. If 3 people said bad things, even if he had a helper, it would be very troublesome. After saying this, he asked Wang Gang again, "You live in Hunan. Why did you come to Hangzhou? It's a long story. Ah. Third brother, where are you from? You don't sound like a local. Wang Gang saw that the other party did not say bad things about the female boss, but asked him instead. He was vigilant in his heart, thinking that the other party was not so simple. Me? I'm from Jianan East Road. Later on, I fled to Jiangnan West Road, and then came here. It's been 3 years, but I can't change my accent. It sounds different to you. How long have you been here? Did you just come here? It was not warm in your place for the first 2 months. Zhang Yushi was talking to Wang Gang while listening to what was going on below. Just as he finished asking, he heard someone talking about the seafood burrito for fishermen. Then he added, I don't know if we can taste that burrito. Everyone says it's delicious, but it's too expensive. It costs 30 coins. It's not easy to earn money. Brother, have you ever seen one? The brother he was talking about was the one who was with him, but he thought that the other people did not know that the name this person said was Zhang Yi. When Zhang Yi heard the other party's words, he understood that the other party was lying on the table and did not have much gain, so he asked for help. So he replied, I don't know either. Second brother, where did you live in Hangzhou? Look, I'm still lying on the table. Actually, it's good that you're here. You're older than us, so it's only right for you to sleep on the table. The floor is cold, and there's only a mat. It's damp, so why don't we change? Wang Gang was facing other people's questions again, so he just said one sentence lightly. How could he not understand the principle of saying too much is bound to make mistakes? To tell a lie, he needed to tell more lies. It was always easy to inadvertently reveal a loophole. After answering Zhang Yi, he said to the 2 people on his left and right, Fourth brother, fifth brother, help me to persuade the eldest brother. Before fourth brother and fifth brother could say anything, Zhang Yi laughed and said, Second brother, I am only 3 months older than you. I am not old at all. Haha, second brother, why don't we think about who will go out to deliver things, and who will stay in the shop? Then we can tell the boss. You tell us first, and we will listen. If you want me to say. After saying these 4 words, Wang Gang acted like he was thinking about something, but in his heart, he was cursing. Zhang Yi was too bad. No matter what he said, he thought that when the time came, the 4 of them would agree with what he said. Then one of them would go to the boss and let the boss arrange according to what he said. Moreover, the boss would specifically mention that it was his idea, and the 4 of them would agree. Then what would the consequences be? The male boss might still be as honest as before, nodding and agreeing. But the female boss would probably think that he was not clear about his identity. Would he have to listen to the arrangements of a shop assistant? Then there was a high possibility that he would be driven away. He could not say anything. Second brother, have you thought about it? Zhang Yi urged. Wang Gang twisted his body, which made him look very awkward. Fortunately, the moonlight shone over and they could see his outline. He shook his head and said, If you want me to say, when the time comes, we will just wait for the boss's orders. The boss is very good at judging people. Of course, he will have a foolproof plan. Big brother, why don't you tell me what to do? As for me, I think second brother is right. We will listen to the boss. Go to bed early. We have to get up early tomorrow. We can't delay the boss's business. Sleep, all of you sleep. Zhang Yi did not dare to say his thoughts, but he felt that if he did not say something, he would be weak. So he directly said to sleep. If the other 4 people all fell asleep, it would naturally reflect his status. Zhang Yu quickly echoed, Big brother is right. Sleep. When we are free, I will listen to Big brother and sleep first. After that, he did not say anything. It seemed that he had fallen asleep, and it was better for others not to disturb him. The other 3 people had no choice but to adjust their positions. They covered themselves with a blanket that they did not know where the female boss bought from. There was also a blanket with an indescribable smell. They also fell asleep one after another. Whether they could sleep soundly was another matter. Chapter 1068. Early the next morning, Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan got up. They first put on makeup in the room to make sure there were no flaws. Then, they calmed down and went out. They didn't need to go outside to know that all 5 of them were awake. Looking at the 5 of them, they also knew that none of them slept well last night. No matter how they pretended to be awake, the tiredness in their eyes couldn't escape Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan's eyes, but the 2 of them couldn't see through it. Brother Zhang, sister-in-law, good morning. The 5 of them greeted almost at the same time as if they had discussed it beforehand. They said the same words, but the tone was different. Zhang Xiaobao was stunned, then showed a simple and honest smile and nodded. Good, good. You just came here, yesterday, and slept on the table and floor. You didn't sleep well, did you? It's okay. I discussed it with Madam and rented a place for you today. In fact, it's not just for you, if it's not for them, who is it for? You want me to sleep there? You're all lazy when it comes to work. You only know how to set the table. Don't you know how to wipe the table legs with a cloth? Do you need others to tell you to do everything? Wang Wan glared at Zhang Xiaobao, then turned around and glared at the 5 of them again and said with dissatisfaction. It was now 5:15, which was around 4:30. The 5 of them had just gotten up. They all knew that the restaurant was going to make steamed buns today, so they got up early, afraid that they would be kicked out. Last night, they went to bed after midnight and were sleepy, so they didn't have time to clean up. The blanket was just folded, and the mat was just rolled up. They didn't know where to put it. They couldn't just throw it in a corner of the room. Perhaps it was because it was not easy to find a good job. The 5 of them did not say a single word of explanation and hurriedly looked for jobs themselves. That was called taking the initiative. They even kept saying things like, I'll do it, I'll do it. It was very friendly and harmonious, reflecting a kind of team spirit. Wang Wan snorted and deliberately used her hand to pick up the hair on the right side of her newly styled hairstyle, revealing her face with very special spots. She swayed her hips and entered the kitchen first. Zhang Xiaobao followed them to the kitchen. After taking 2 steps, he stopped, turned his head, and smiled at the 5 people. He said, work hard. Today, we'll eat steamed buns. My steamed buns are very good. There are prawns in them, and... Sure too, you come in here. What kind of prawns are you? Are you blind? Can't you see life? Steamed buns? Last night, we gave them the noodles and steamed buns. From tomorrow onwards, we will find a place for them to stay, and they will cook for themselves. They are used to it. Wang Wan's voice came from inside. Zhang Xiaobao responded loudly and said to the 5 people in a low voice, Don't listen to her. Steamed buns, she's like that. She has a sharp tongue, but a soft heart. Last night, she discussed with me and said that we will find a place to put things and for you to stay. She said that it doesn't belong to a rich family. Below there are boards and mud. Hangzhou is very humid. It's not enough to just use a mat. I'm afraid that you will get sick from sleeping. Work hard. I'll go in and make steamed buns. Let's taste them. When the 5 people heard the words of the 2 masters, they looked at each other and remained silent. They didn't know what to say. There was a unique feeling lingering in their hearts. If the master was good, the female master was too hateful. If the master was bad, the male master had always been so honest. He even wanted to find a place to rent a house. No matter what the purpose of renting a house was, at least the 5 of them came over before he said that. Moreover, he also asked them to wait for them to stay. Under these conflicting feelings, the 5 of them finished their work with different thoughts. Each of them was very nimble. Then, they went to the kitchen again. While trying not to disturb the boss, they brought out the leftover braised food from yesterday. They put it in the vat and cooled it with the well water. Then they cut them, put them on a plate, and smelled them one by one. If they couldn't smell them, they pinched them and tasted them to see if they were bad. If they were bad, they could only be thrown away. When the steamed buns were ready and the new steamed buns were put in the pot, the sky had just become bright. Wang Wan finished her work. She went to the chair behind the counter and sat down to have a short rest. Zhang Xiaobao began to spread the pancakes. At the same time, He came out and took the money from Wang Wan's hand. He handed it to Wang Gang and said, "Xiao Gang, go to the market in the morning according to the list, and buy the things back. The fresh seafood in the morning has to be eaten like this. Otherwise, it will become dry goods. Otherwise, it will easily make people sick. Brother Zhang, I'll go. I'm familiar with the market in the morning. I've been in Hangzhou for a long time." The opportunity to show off came. "Zhang, you came over to take the purchase order and the money." Wang Gang took it in advance and said to Zhang Xiaobao, "Brother Zhang, don't worry. I know. I'll run and come back in a while. It won't delay." After saying that, he ran outside. "Zhang, you also wanted to go." When he walked outside, he said, "I'll go with you." "Stop. Do you need 10,000 people to buy something? Do you want to run out and be lazy?" Wang Wan stood up. When she sat behind the counter, only her hair was exposed. When she stood up, the counter reached her waist. The rules of the traders were like this. The shopkeeper was not allowed to sit. If he wanted to sit, he could. If he went out of the counter, it was even more impossible to raise the stool. How could he sit so high? The shopkeeper of Between the Clouds and the Water did not dare to do that. Zhang Yu shook his head repeatedly and wanted to explain something. Beside him, Zhang Yi immediately moved the stool a little to remind Zhang Yu. At this time, the shopkeeper would think that he was talking back. Zhang Yu hurriedly lowered his head again and felt unspeakable anger in his heart. He had never suffered like this. If it were not for the task, he would not have worked 10 coins a day, let alone 5 coins a day. After saying that, Wang Wan sat back again. She leaned back in a chair with the backrest. Now, even her hair could not be seen. She said to Zhang Xiaobao discontentedly, "You always let me talk. Why do you care about the business? 2 people go together. Don't you have a companion? There are many things. It's heavy for 1 person to carry." Zhang Xiaobao helped to speak. "Do you need to find a few people to play music? A companion? Shopping is not for sightseeing." Wang Wan scolded Zhang Xiaobao again. Zhang Xiaobao did not continue to say. He rubbed his hands on his apron and went back to the kitchen to continue to spread the pancakes. The reason why he sent Wang Gang was that he knew that Wang Gang would not make trouble when he was shopping. Wang Gang's identity did not conflict with that of the shopkeeper. After all, he was on the same side, so he could rest assured. When Wang Gang came back with the things, Zhang Xiaobao had almost finished spreading the pancakes. It was not a slow fire stall. It was not a waste of time. There was a big fire below. Only then could one see how good the pancakes were. After waiting for a while, the pancakes were finished, and the new braised food was ready. He asked the staff to go in and help to take out and sort the pancakes. Zhang Xiaobao went to deal with the seafood. He was busy until 7:15 in the morning. Only then did he finish all the work. When he opened the door again, there were already people waiting outside. He let them in to eat, and the 5 staff stood in their respective positions. Actually, there wasn't a lot of space. 2 of the workers were standing in the kitchen at the back, eating steamed buns. Zhang Xiaobao steamed 10 trays of steamed buns at one go, 1 tray after another. He left 3 trays for Wang Ju's family to take away and ate the rest for himself. This was the first time he made the buns. Wang Ju's family just wanted to taste the buns. Since they asked for a few trays of buns, they naturally had to eat at least 3 trays. The 5 staff, including Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan, took turns to eat breakfast. Wang Wan took out the money, put it in her pocket, and said, "Wang Gang, Zhang Yu, come with me. Let's see the house. After you choose, you don't have to live on the ground tonight. Each of you is like a master, and I have to serve you." "Humph, you are spoiled." Wang Gang and Zhang Yu's eyes lit up and immediately trotted out. Zhang Xiaobao stood behind the counter. There were still 3 staff in the shop. It was busy enough. After going out, Wang Wan led the 2 to the back. After passing through a narrow street, she saw that the paper outside the courtyard had not been torn down. She understood that it had been empty. She turned around and went to the broker house. The notice was from the broker house. It should be that the family had other things to do, so they entrusted the house to the broker house. When the time came, the broker house would directly sign the contract. Of course, the government also had to notarize it and leave it for the record. There was no phone to call, so they went to the broker house. The broker house sent someone to open the door and let them see the house. Wang Wan took Wang Gang and Zhang Yu into the house and looked around. In fact, she was not looking at the layout. Anyway, she was not going to live there. She was just looking at the quality. She had to buy a house in the future. What Zhang Xiaobao meant was that since they had bought a braised food shop, it would be a waste to throw away the reputation that they had earned from the fishing association after they left. Therefore, it would be better to arrange for someone to manage it. The yard behind the shop could be used to store goods, and people could live there too. If the quality of the house was not good, they had to look at the foundation. Otherwise, it would be troublesome to renovate it. They could not invest a lot of money to build a new one. When the deal was handed over, the cost of the courtyard also had to be borne by the deal to maintain a certain degree of independence and profitability. After all, it was not a public welfare or charity organization. After checking it, Wang Wan felt that the house was not bad. It would not fall down in a short time. There was some furniture in the house, which was abandoned by the original owner. She took it over. She was not going to live in it, so it was not bad to give it to the workers. After leaving the house, she walked around the backyard to check the soil on the ground. She wanted to see if she could plant some vegetables. She looked like she was living a frugal life. She had seen it all. Wang Wan asked the people from the broker house, "How do you rent it?" 200 coins a month, 3 rooms, front and back courtyards, and a well. You can pay once a month, but you have to leave a 1-month deposit. If you pay for 3 months at a time, you don't have to leave a deposit. In the last 10 days of 3 months, we will send someone to ask. The broker house replied. Wang Wan did not nod or shake her head. Instead, she asked Wang Gang and Zhang Yu next to her, "Is it okay?" "Okay," Zhang Yu answered quickly. "What about you?" Wang Wan heard that Zhang Yu said it was okay, so she asked Wang Gang alone. Wang Gang rolled his eyes and showed a bitter face. Wei Wei shook her head and said, "Boss, it's not that I talk too much. It's just that I think it's expensive. Look at this yard. There are many broken fences in front. I heard you say that you want to raise chickens. If you don't repair it, other people's dogs can get in at will. Won't the chickens become the dogs' food? If you renovate the fence and replace it with planks, it will be at least this high, right?" Wang Gang raised his hand and gestured at the position of his chest, and then said, "You have to be at least 1 foot into the ground, or else you will fall down with a bump. The stake will have to be rebuilt. I estimate that it will cost at least 20 copper coins to get down. The salary of a helper will be 30 copper coins. Nowadays, helpers are expensive, not comparable to the past." Wang Wan nodded. "It will cost more. What do you think?" She asked the broker house. The broker house thought for a while and asked, "How long will you rent it?" "At least 1 year. If you have spare money in the future, you can buy it." Wang Wan said. "Then it's 195 coins a month. You have to sign a 1-year contract and pay a month's deposit." The broker house made a concession. Wang Wan still did not respond immediately. She continued to ask Zhang Yu and Wang Gang, "What do you think?" "Okay, it's 5 coins cheaper." Zhang Yu's mind was not on this. Why bother to talk about a few coins? Who knew that Wang Gang still had a bitter face and said, "Boss, it's not that I talk too much. It's just that I think it's expensive. We came to see the house. It's impossible to go up the house. This house is a tiled house. Look carefully. Do you see moss on it? This is to say that the original house didn't break the tiles. After a month, the plum rain season will come. If there is a leak, water will enter. Should we repair it or not? Who will pay for it? If we don't repair it, who will live in the house? Don't we need to find people to work? We need to get mud where we need to get mud, and we need to get grass where we need to get grass. If we calculate the labor cost, we need to get less than 100 copper coins per day. There are 3 rooms. Just the wages alone, if 2 people work, they will have to work for a full day. 30 copper coins per person is not much. including the cost of 2 meals. Even 100 copper coins may not be enough. Fine work comes out of slow work. What do you think? Wang Wan asked the broker house's man. The broker house's man stared at Wang Gang and said in his heart, "Why are you so troublesome? You are just an employee. Why do you care?" He thought in his heart, but said, "Well, you can give us another 10 coins a month. At least you can rent it for a year. Or you can buy it. There is furniture for you to use. Isn't that money?" This time, there was no need for Wang Wan to ask. Wang Gang still said with a bitter face, "Boss, it's not that I talk too much. It's just that I think it is expensive. Just now, I went in with you to see the furniture. We are running a small shop. There are many tables and chairs that are not used. We put them in. What I saw was that some of the dust on the wall had fallen off. You said that if I were to stick paper on it, it would be expensive. Furthermore, it would turn yellow when it rains and becomes wet. If I had to reapply the dust, I would have done it with a trowel. If I knew how to do it, I would have done it. But I don't know how to do it, so I would have to hire someone." So, Wang Gang said a lot. Anyway, they were all problems. Wang Wan kept asking the broker house's man. Maybe the broker house also wanted to rent out the house quickly. Moreover, Wang Wan said that she wanted to buy it and leave a good impression. At the same time, the broker house's problems were really picked out. So they made concessions again and again until the rent was reduced to 150 coins a month. They said that if they still didn't rent it, the broker house wouldn't rent it. They had reached the bottom line. Wang Wan happily paid 3 months' rent and a month's deposit. Then she signed the contract with the broker house. Then she led Wang Gang and Zhang Yu back. When they came to the door of the shop, Wang Wan stopped and said to Zhang Yu, "It seems that you are from a rich family. How can you agree with the price they ask? We can't afford to raise you. Go back and see if there is anything you want to clean up. After you clean up, I will give you 10 coins. It's your 2-day work. You can find another job." Chapter 1069. Zhang Yu was stunned by Wang Wan's words, and then he suddenly reacted. She didn't want him. Was it because he didn't help to bargain when they were renting the house? That's right, he was a shop assistant, not a rich person. He agreed to the price the broker asked for, but the female boss was dissatisfied. That's right, the female boss didn't care whether she was rich or not. With her stingy appearance, she hated that she couldn't split a copper coin into 2 and spend it. Of course, she would appreciate a shop assistant who could help her bargain. Thinking of this, Zhang Yu regretted it very much. He was careless. If he was driven away, he would be left alone in the restaurant. It would be more convenient for him to do things with 2 people. Boss, listen to me. I'm not good with words, but I'm quick with my work. I don't know how to bargain. Boss, please give me another chance." Zhang Yu stood beside Wang Wan and bowed to explain. Wang Wan shook her head. "As a waiter, you don't know how to talk. What if the guest asks you something during dinner and you don't answer well? Won't you offend the guest?" After that, Wang Wan walked in, not giving Zhang Yu the slightest chance. Zhang Yu stood at the door and was stunned for a while before he went in. When he went in, he was already depressed. The other 3 waiters in the restaurant also heard what Wang Wan said at the door. 2 of them were happy, and one of them was very annoyed. When Zhang Yu came in, he stared at him. But he didn't say anything because he knew it was useless to say anything. After staring at Zhang Yu, he wanted to stare at Wang Gang. Just as he glanced over, he suddenly realized that one of his people had left. He couldn't continue to offend others. He had to find a way to build a good relationship with others to make things easier. Thinking of this, his eyes became calm, and he said to Wang Gang, "It's hot. Are you tired outside?" Wang Gang was happy in his heart. He had found that the 2 people were in the same group, and their purpose was not pure. Finally, one of them was driven away by him. If it was more or less the case, it should be the faction that was always causing trouble behind the scenes. That faction had a lot of people, and they were actually able to infiltrate this place. Unfortunately, their foundation was not good enough. In terms of the cultivation of spies, they were not even close to the main faction. He must not have gone through any systematic training. How dare he come here to cause trouble? Let's wait and see what the remaining person has up his sleeves. Although Wang Gang was thinking about it, he didn't show it on his face. He smiled and said, "I'm not tired. Boss is the one who's tired. Boss has put in a lot of effort to find a house for us to live in. We have to work hard in the future." As soon as he finished speaking, Wang Wan, who had taken over Zhang Xiaobao's position, spoke up. "Little Gang, you're not bad. You've saved money for the store. It's not easy to find a good worker. How about this? From now on, you'll be paid 6 copper coins a day. Also, I see that the workers in the bigger stores all wear the same clothes. Our store is not bad now. Take the money and find someone to make 4 sets of clothes. With your skills, I think you won't be too bad. I trust you. Xiao Yi, your eyes are a little lively. Can't you see that there's a shelf above? Hurry up and fill in the blanks. All you know is to stand there like a fool." After Wang Wan finished speaking, she began to flip through the bookkeeping book. She glanced at the other tables and lowered her head to count them one by one. It seemed that she didn't even trust the male boss. Zhang Yi secretly sighed. He knew that he had been tricked by Wang Gang. Originally, he wanted to get closer to Wang Gang. Who would have thought that the other party would mention the Dong family? He didn't say that the Dong family was implicated. Sure enough, the Dong family was remembered by the narrow-minded Dong family. Say it with all your might. Do you really think that I'll take a liking to your shabby store? Wait until the task is done. I'll let you open the store. I'll let you take my life. You'll pay me back. I'll definitely pay you back." Zhang Yi cursed in his heart, but he had to hurry up and fill in the blanks according to Wang Wan's words. At the same time, he hated Wang Gang. In less than a day, he was chosen by the boss and arranged such a good job. Wang Gang could directly take the money to make clothes, and the boss didn't worry that he would pocket the money, which meant that he had won the boss's trust. This was not good. Maybe he would get more opportunities in the future. If he couldn't get a certain amount of trust, it would be more difficult to find an opportunity to act according to the orders of the boss. The other 2 shop assistants also noticed this. One of them looked at Wang Gang with a slightly different look than Wei Wei. It seemed that he was confused and guessing. The other one acted as if nothing had happened and turned around to clean up the bowls and chopsticks on the table of the 2 people who had just finished the braised food. The whole shop returned to its previous tranquil state, as if nothing had happened. However, Zhang Yu took the money and left gloomily. He didn't know if he would be punished when he returned to the organization. After all, because of his negligence, Zhang Yi had to carry out the plan alone. When Zhang Yu went out, he didn't forget to stare at Wang Gang. Wang Gang acted as if he didn't see it and still stood at the door. When someone needed to pack something, he went to help. He glanced at Zhang Yu and sneered in his heart, because he knew that Zhang Yu wouldn't leave easily. Zhang Yu didn't know what Wang Gang was thinking. He walked out of the door angrily, looked around, and then went east. About 100 meters behind him, there was a person who seemed to have just walked there. The person also followed him. Wang Wan checked the account and nodded with satisfaction. She asked Zhang Xiaobao, who came out from the back and brought some water to the front. "Did the steamed buns take away?" "Yes, I didn't take the money. I said to let them try it. If they think it's good, they can buy it again. If they don't like it, they won't make it." As Zhang Xiaobao spoke, he smiled at Wang Wan. Wang Wan returned his smile. Now that the 2 of them had chased away the waiter, it would be much more convenient for them to carry out their plan. Zhang Yu being driven away was something that Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan had planned. 2 people from the same organization were sent in. Of course, they couldn't keep all of them. If one was driven away, there would be 4 left. That would be fun. Of course, there was another purpose for driving Zhang Yu away. It was to let their spies follow Zhang Yu and see if they could get some information. They didn't arrange for people to follow Zhang Yu. According to normal circumstances, since Wang Gang came, the spies in charge of spying naturally had to check the situation in the store. However, They couldn't find out whether their identities were real or fake. Before they came, they had already prepared a set of real identities. The spies under them weren't good enough, so they could only report and let the higher-ups investigate. They found out the birthplace of the two owners of the store. The higher-ups would naturally follow the instructions of Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan and tell the spies under them that their identities were correct, and they didn't need to pay attention to them. In the past, it was really difficult to investigate a person's identity in Tang. Many people didn't have an identity and didn't even have a citizenship. For example, in a village, they didn't have a citizenship and hid in the mountains. In this way, they didn't have to pay rent and didn't need to do voluntary work for a period of time every year. But now it was easy to investigate the identity of a person in Tang because there were a lot of benefits. If a person with a child went to school, he must have a citizenship. Otherwise, why would the businessmen of Tang help people from outside to raise children? Also, if a woman in a family was pregnant and had a citizenship, she would receive benefits from Tang from the time she knew she was pregnant until the child was born. Moreover, she would be rewarded for giving birth to a child. Or, if a person from the same place didn't have a citizenship and didn't have any money, they could only find a job or beg for food. If they found a job, they wouldn't be paid every day. If they begged for food, they would be arrested by the local authorities. But it was different with a citizenship. If they really ran out of money, they could just go to the local authorities. According to the policy proposed by Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan to Li Longji, every local authority had a special room to receive the commoners. As long as one went in and said that they were hungry, someone would send food to the poor and say that they couldn't find a job. The authorities would still ask them what they knew and if they had any skills. If they did, they would be arranged to work in such a place. If not, they could only do manual labor. And the prerequisite for all of this was that one had to have proof of one's citizenship. If one lost it, they had to say it so that the local authorities could verify it. Under such a policy, there wasn't a single commoner in Tang who didn't want a citizenship. This was because having a citizenship gave them more benefits than not having one. Because it was very easy to investigate a person from Great Tang, it was just a matter of money. If it was someone from another country, it would be easier to identify them. Thus, Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan's identities were confirmed. At the same time, the shop opened by the two of them provided a clue for the spy system in his family. Our intelligence personnel are still the best. Look at that Wang Gang. He has indeed undergone professional training. You don't know how good Wang Gang was when I went to rent a house. Wang Wan whispered to Zhang Xiaobao. Even though Zhang Xiaobao didn't follow along, he could imagine the situation after hearing Wang Wan's words. Wang Gang must have found an opportunity to help the owner save money so as to gain the trust of the owner and be able to stay in the shop. Competition was everywhere. What a good spy could do was to obtain the final victory in the competition. Wang Gang had succeeded. Not to mention that the two of them had deliberately made him stay, even if it was an ordinary shop. If they could negotiate the price when they went out with the owner, they would still be able to gain the favor of the owner. The ability of the spy trained by the system showed at this moment. I stay, you go, it's that simple. Of course, our people are not for nothing. In order to train them, how much manpower and material resources have been used. Now it seems that his performance is not bad. Give him a few more chances to show his performance and help him establish the leadership of the four people. I believe that he will make good use of it. Zhang Xiaobao glanced at Wang Gang, who was helping the customers pack. Wei Wei nodded and said to Wang Wan. At the same time, there was a hint of pride on his face, because many of the training methods for spying were provided by him. Wang Wan also showed a little smile. You are awesome. Go to work. Do you think it is easy for me to take care of this shop? Yes, I will listen to you. I will go to the back and have a look, Zhang Xiaobao said cooperatively and turned around to leave, which made Wang Wan smile even more. She found that it was really fun to open a shop with Zhang Xiaobao. It was also interesting to experience the living habits of different people according to their different identities. Unfortunately, When this matter was settled, she would have to return to her real self again. She didn't know how to busy herself and left behind many things. Damn the power. When they found out, none of them would be good. Wang Gang was also puzzled when he saw the two owners whispering to each other with different expressions on their faces. He always felt that the two owners of this small shop were faintly hiding something, but he couldn't tell what it was. There was no problem in all aspects. They were no different from the owners of other small shops. They were very ordinary. The man was simple and honest, but he was not stupid at all. As for the woman, she was very fond of fussing over little things. It seemed that she wouldn't give up until she tired others to death. She was afraid that she wouldn't get a return on her salary. Just like other women, there were such types. But why did he have a special feeling? It seemed that he felt it from the eyes of the other party. It seemed that they were examining him to see if he was good enough. Examining was a very normal thing. As the owner of a shop, of course, he would look at how his employees were doing when they were working. However, he felt that they were not only examining his employees, but also examining his other identity. Just when he thought of his other identity, Wang Gang couldn't help but tremble. His other identity was a spy for the Zhang family and the Wang family. If his other identity was also seen through by others, wouldn't he be too bad at his job? It was impossible. How could two people in this small shop see through his identity? What a joke. Was he thinking too much? Was his mind unstable? That was a taboo for spies. No, it wasn't that he was thinking too much. He really did have a feeling. According to what was said during training, spies needed to trust their intuition at critical moments. If there was no other choice, then they should act according to their intuition. It seemed that he had to find an opportunity to test these two people and see if their intuition was wrong or right. Wang Gang made a decision in his heart. He relaxed for a moment, and his mood improved when he started working. He was waiting for an opportunity to test them. He had to be a little more discreet. While Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan were busy buying and selling goods in the shop, on the river near Xuanyang in Jiangzhou, Xiao Bei and the others' fleet had not yet docked. They occupied a lot of space on the river, so the cargo ships and passenger ships had to carefully pass through. But even so, no one complained. This was especially true for the people in charge of transporting goods on both sides of the river. Not only were they not unhappy, they were very happy. In the past, when they worked, they always had to be very careful. If they weren't careful, the boat would easily capsize. Every year, there would be all sorts of accidents on this part of the river. Some people died, some goods were lost. For example, when they were in the middle of the river, a sudden gale would cause the boat to reach the center of the river. Then, it would depend on the boatman's skill and luck. Moreover, they couldn't accept any work at night. That would be courting death. But it was different now. With the Zhang Xiaobao and Wang family's fleets on the river, the boatmen weren't worried about any problems. This was because a problem had already occurred once. A small boat carrying people was capsized not far from the center of the river. There were 21 people on the boat. Including the boatmen, there were 22 people. At the time, the people on the shore and on the water cried out in alarm. The boatmen also accepted their fate, and so did the boatmen. In the end, just as the boat capsized, a group of frightening swimming experts jumped down from the boats of the Zhang Xiaobao and Wang family's fleets. Various life-saving devices filled the sky. The entire river seemed to be covered with them. As long as the people who fell into the water grabbed onto any one of them, they wouldn't drown immediately. In the end, the 22 people were all rescued. Even the capsized boat was tied up with hooks and stuck to the side of the big boat. The only thing that was lost was a small portion of the life-saving devices, which were washed away by the water. A large amount of life-saving devices were scooped up with nets. As for the ones that were washed away, they would probably be scooped up in other parts of the river. Seeing the unique rice seedling symbol of the Zhang Xiaobao and Wang family, they should be able to send them to the Great Tang Bank or Zhang Xiaobao and Wang family's restaurants. Since they weren't going to send them, there was no harm in leaving them. It didn't matter who used the life-saving devices. The Zhang Xiaobao and Wang family didn't care about this little bit of money. Human lives were more important. With that situation, the people who used the boats to ferry people were completely relieved. Every one of them became bolder and more confident. Because they weren't worried that something would happen, they were confident and in a good state. Instead, there were no problems. For them, the most important thing was that they could ferry people at night. The electric lights on the fleet illuminated the river as bright as day, and business became better. Because many people were afraid of water, they wouldn't take the boat if they could. They would rather take a long detour and walk on the bridge built by the Zhang Xiaobao and Wang family, or not cross at all. But since they didn't have to worry, they naturally wanted to take the boat and take a look. It was fine to treat it as a vacation. Some old people who didn't dare to cross the river their whole lives even took their grandchildren to see the scenery on the boat. It could be seen how much they trusted the Zhang Xiaobao and Wang family. They even hoped that the fleet carrying Xiaobei and the others from the Zhang Xiaobao and Wang family would never leave. Of course, this was just their imagination. It was impossible. At the same time, they hated the people who wanted to bomb Xiaobei and the others even more. This was because they knew that Xiaobei and his children were still hiding in the cabin, not showing their faces at all. The local people were very angry. This was the Great Tang, the territory of Jiangzhou. When the children of the Zhang Xiaobao and Wang family went to other places, they could casually stroll around the streets and play with the local children. But when they arrived in Jiangzhou, they could only hide in the cabin, not even daring to go up to the deck. To the people of Jiangzhou, this was a disgrace. Therefore, the commoners helped to search again and again. After the search in the morning, when they were eating lunch, perhaps there would be commoners who would organize themselves to search again. Then, in the evening, or even in the middle of the night, they would take turns to get up and form groups to search again. Not only were they searching for others, but they were also checking to see if there were any bad people in the search team. This process continued for several days. It was as if they had to dig 3 feet into the ground to give Xiaobei and the others an explanation. The result was that the people hiding in Xiunyang were captured one after another. Anyone who was caught would first receive a beating. If they hadn't been handed over to the Zhang Xiaobao and Wang family for interrogation, they would have already been beaten to death. In just a few days, with the help of the people of Xiunyang, 42 people had been captured. All of them were imprisoned in the provincial capital of Xiunyang, where they would be separated and interrogated through various methods. As for Xiaobei and the others, they continued to stay on the ship. They played in the largest hall, all of them devoting their energy to studying. We've caught 42. This is the strength of the people. It's true that water can carry a boat, and it can even capsize the boat. Without their help, relying only on my family and the power of the authorities, it would be pretty good if we could catch even half of them. Truly amazing. As Xiaobei ate, he said this to the others. Xiao Yuan did not correct Xiaobei's words. Instead, he took the fish and fed it to Panner, who was waiting with her mouth open. He said, "We should go down. If there are still some that slip through the net, they might take advantage of the time we go down to think of a way to make a move against us. We can catch them all. If we don't go down, what do we go down for?" Wait for the people to continue searching. They actually dared to blow up my ship, so I definitely won't let them have an easy time. I plan on personally killing a few of them to prove their courage. Xiaobei shook his head. If we keep asking the people to help search, won't the people still work? If we delay the opportunity to make money, who will be responsible? Xiao Yuan was a little dissatisfied. Yet Xiaobei carelessly said, "What's there to be afraid of if we delay time? We'll give them a chance to make extra money, and we'll even give them some gifts as thanks. That way, we'll make up for our losses. I'm not going down because I'm afraid, and I'm not going to torment the people. Rather, through this operation, I want the people to understand the importance of unity and cooperation. For example, in the past, there were people who didn't have a good relationship with their neighbors. When questioned by our people, we can ask them if their neighbors could be bad people and have them speak the truth. I believe that for the sake of their responsibility to us, They won't speak carelessly and will instead evaluate objectively. In the past, when their relationship was not good, they would always remember each other's bad points. Now, when they evaluate objectively, they will think and speak at the same time. In the process, they will discover that their neighbors were actually not bad people. Both sides were responsible for their previous conflicts. Then, they will search together and cooperate. They will take turns on night watch. Their relationship will gradually become harmonious. Without communication, it will naturally deepen their conflicts. With communication, it will be fine, right? Aren't I very smart? As Xiao Bei spoke, he did his best to stick out his chest, looking as if he was waiting for someone to praise him. Amazing, truly amazing, Xiao Yuan very cooperatively praised. And this was truly the case. The relationships between the common people of Xiunyang had improved because of this matter. Those who normally had conflicts with each other gradually resolved their conflicts as they worked together, especially when they worked together to capture a single person. When they high-fived each other in celebration, the smiles they gave each other turned into smiles of resentment and gratitude. Presumably, once this matter passed, the common people of Xiunyang would spend a very long time reminiscing about the events of each day. Even if there was some friction, they would still remember that they had once worked together, that they had persevered for the sake of the same conviction. So, we still have to continue waiting for them to capture another person. What they lose is time, and their time is usually used to earn money. We can use other methods to compensate them. What we lose is just a bit of money, but we have made the people of Xiunyang even more united. Compared to the fact that the people of one place in the Great Tang can become even more united, what is the money we lose compared to what we gain? Isn't that right? I've also prepared a speech. When the time comes, let the people stay on both sides of the river. Let's use the loudspeakers on our ships to thank them for this matter. I'll specifically mention the matter of their unity, and I'll mention it a few times. I'm the best at this. Xiao Bei was so excited that he didn't even eat. He just stood there thinking as he spoke. As he spoke, the others could only stop and accompany him, occasionally helping him add a few words. Even Panner and Panner were no longer willing to eat. They blinked their large eyes as they curiously listened to their older brother and sister speak in a language they didn't understand. By the time Xiao Bei and the others had finished adding to their plan, the dishes had already gone cold. Other than the cold plates and the hairtail fish that could continue to be eaten, the rest were taken away and sent to the kitchen to be reheated. While waiting for the dishes to be reheated, Xiao Hai said, "Big brother and big sister said that they have something to do, but I don't know how they're doing. I haven't been able to get in touch with them these past few days. I hope that they'll be successful." They'll definitely be successful. Big brother and big sister won't be defeated, Xiao Bei firmly declared as he waved his fist. The undefeated big brother and sister that Xiao Bei spoke of were currently worried. They actually want the two of us to go to their manor to cook for them. Are you kidding me? If we go there, others won't recognize us. But how could the servants who usually serve us and my mother, your mother, not recognize us? Not to mention the mother that he always saw and grew up with. Even mother and daughter, who had been separated for many years, would sometimes have a telepathic connection when they brushed past each other. No matter how good our disguises are, I believe that as long as my mother sees us, she'll immediately recognize us. My mother hasn't learned this kind of thing before. If we reveal something wrong and are discovered by others, what should we do? Zhang Xiaobao said with difficulty. At noon today, people from the Wang Wan family came. It was that very arrogant person who relied on his family's power. He said that he wanted Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan to go to the manor before noon the day after tomorrow to make something in front of them. The people in the manor would choose the ingredients. Of course, Zhang Xiaobao couldn't go. That was why he was worried. Wang Wan was the same. She knew that what Zhang Xiaobao said was true. At that time, they often had cases where long-lost relatives found each other. One reason was because relatives would always remember that someone had been separated from them. The other reason was because of the telepathic connection that was currently unstudied by science. A picture on the monitor could give a long-lost relative a special feeling, let alone meeting them. She and Xiao Bao had only been separated from their mother for a few days. Once they met, they would definitely be exposed. Perhaps Xiao Bao's mother had received good education and could endure, but what about her own mother? If she was agitated, all her previous efforts would be wasted. Xiao Bao, don't worry. There are still 2 days left. Think of a way. Maybe we cannot go. If we really go, we can only catch the 3 workers in the shop and torture them. But in that case, the clues will probably be cut off somewhere. You see, Zhang Yu left, and Zhang Yi didn't have any problems. No one came to catch him, which means that our spies didn't find any useful clues on Zhang Yu. So they didn't dare to act rashly and alert the enemy. Or maybe Zhang Yu and Zhang Yi's forces aren't the forces that are secretly causing trouble. The best way is to continue waiting. Wait for the other side to show a loophole. Then we can catch them and find the people behind them. Defense is never as easy as offense. If we go to other people's place and hide behind them to cause trouble, it will be more troublesome for them. Wang Wan persuaded Zhang Xiaobao. In fact, she was also comforting herself and calming herself down. She knew that she had to find the people hiding in the dark and deal with them. Otherwise, with the method of controlling religion and using the big tobacco ointment, the other party would continue to grow stronger. Of course, if it was history, there was no record of this in Great Tang. Perhaps she and Xiao Bao developed too quickly and attracted the attention of people from other places. Perhaps there were people from Great Tang involved. It was hard to guard against a thief in one's home. Hearing Wang Wan's words, Zhang Xiaobao fell into deep thought. After a while he whispered, "Tomorrow morning, there will be 10 trays of buns. Each tray will be 60 copper coins. Altogether, a bun is 5 copper coins. I'm making small buns. If you have to find a name, it will be sheep's eye buns. The texture is very good. It's fine to eat one in a bite, but it doesn't matter if you eat half in a bite. It's not easy to eat the stuffing. It's probably because they feel that it's good when they eat it. Since you and I are going to the capital, they can't eat the food I make and want to find a replacement." Wang Wan smiled and replied, "Of course. Isn't your goal to attract them and have more opportunities to send gifts to Wangju's residents? That's why the food you make is the most suitable for their taste. They are used to the food you make and will feel a sense of familiarity. In the days without us, they will naturally think that it's a blessing to have a good chef who can make food that is similar to their taste." Unfortunately, they didn't know that many of the things they were used to would be completely different if they were made by someone else. Only the most familiar people could make the most considerate meals. This was why there were so many famous chefs, but many people's favorite meals were at home. The dishes made by famous chefs are good because they consider everyone's taste. The food made by people at home is targeted. One is for taste, while the other is for time. Zhang Xiaobao nodded in agreement. It was normal that the dishes he made tasted good. He had this talent. Moreover, the dishes he taught the chefs were also liked by many people. However, he believed that if 100 people were given the choice of eating the dishes made by the chefs of Shuiyun for free every meal, or eating the dishes made by their mothers or other family members at other times, 99 of them would choose the latter. Just like when I sold 13 spice to the person who picked me up. At that time, we didn't make much money. Many people would rather buy the boxes of 13 spice, which were very expensive, than the cheap 13 spice we sold. They just liked to listen to me and my grandfather sing the song of selling 13 spice. Most of the people who bought it thought that we sang well, so they bought a pack of 13 spice as if they were giving us a tip. In fact, we hoped that they would buy it because they thought it was good, and not because they were influenced by other thoughts. The boxes of 13 spice we sold were for the general public. When we sold them, it was different. It depends on the person. If they wore ordinary clothes, I would give them normal 13 spice. If they wore good clothes, I would try to reduce the spicy smell. This is because people generally like to eat light food. They probably want to cook vegetables, not meat. Moreover, if they wanted to buy more, I wouldn't sell it. If they bought it, they wouldn't be able to finish it and it would spoil. If you buy it in the supermarket, no matter how much you buy, they will sell it. They are purely trying to make money, so they lack a kind of humanistic care. Zhang Xiaobao thought of the past again. A trace of unique feelings appeared on his face. It was as if he had seen it lightly, but he also missed it. It was winter at that time. When I was in the north, I ate potatoes, radishes, cabbage almost every day. Occasionally, I would eat a bowl of wonton. Later, when I was rich, there was nothing in the world that I couldn't eat. However, my favorite food was still potatoes, radishes, and cabbage. You should have noticed that the dishes I made tasted the best. The quality of the ingredients is important, but it is not absolute. Whether the food is good or bad does not depend on the ingredients, but on whom it is made for. For example, the taste of the braised food in the restaurant is actually ordinary, but the steamed buns are different. This is because I know that maybe our mother can eat the same braised food. If you ask me to make the same braised food for our mother now, the taste will definitely be different. This is because food also has its own soul. Okay, I know you are awesome. Hee, I have to pour cold water on you from time to time. If I let you continue talking, you will become the god of food. What we are discussing now is what to do the day after tomorrow. Wang Wan said to Zhang Xiaobao with a smile. In fact, she knew that the braised food that Xiaobao made at home would definitely not taste as good as the food in the restaurant. This was because it was made for the family, so the thought put into it was completely different. You can't always discourage me. You have to encourage me. Otherwise, I will lose confidence. Once I lose confidence, the steamed buns won't taste good. If they don't taste good, that's right, you will only let us go the day after tomorrow, right? Then if the taste of the steamed buns tomorrow is bad, can we not go there? As Zhang Xiaobao spoke, he suddenly had a flash of inspiration, and his eyes lit up. Without waiting for Wang Wan to speak, he said dejectedly, "No, if the steamed buns are bad, how can we continue to let the people in the manor eat them? If they don't eat them, we won't be able to achieve our goal. I'm so worried. If only we had a group of people to help us come up with ideas. The more people, the better. Okay, let's let the 4 fellows help us come up with ideas and see what their reactions are. Who supports going in and who is sincere in helping us. It can also be a test for Wang Gang. This is a choice for him. What do you think?" Wang Wan was reminded by Zhang Xiaobao's words. She remembered that there were still 4 fellows. The 4 of them actually belonged to 4 different forces. It was amazing. Zhang Xiaobao heard this and laughed, saying, "Wang Gang, he is really unlucky to have met us. A normal spy would not be in a situation like ours. It is nothing more than hiding, spying, and collecting information. Well, it's a good opportunity to tease them." Once the matter was settled, a day passed as well. At night, the door of the restaurant was closed. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan arranged for the 4 fellows to clean the rented house. Then, they found a place to put the bed and told them not to rush to sleep after they finished their work. They had something to discuss when they returned to the restaurant. The 4 fellows were puzzled. They did not know what the boss was going to do. It couldn't be that he felt that there were too many people and wanted to drive them out, right? One of them had already left, and there were just 4 of them left. When they first said that they wanted to recruit 4 people, they were going to recruit 4 people. With doubts in their hearts, the 4 of them went out from the back door and cleaned the house. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan returned to their room to sleep. They would sleep as long as they could. Only when they had enough energy would they be able to do things properly. At the same time, they decided to continue tormenting the 4 of them so that they could sleep for at most 4 hours a day, which was 4 hours. They wanted to see if they could persevere and how long they could last. The longer they persevered, the more important they were in their respective organizations. The 2 of them slept for nearly 2 hours before the 4 fellows finally finished cleaning. Originally, it was like this. Except for Wang Gang, the other 3 fellows had planned to clean a random room and put the bed in it to sleep. They would clean the other 2 rooms the next day. This way, it would be very fast. But Wang Gang told them, "You guys go back first. I'll clean the other 2 rooms myself. The boss might be resting now. He's been tired all day. When you guys get there, if the boss is sleeping, don't call him first, or else he'll be angry." When he said that, the other 3 fellows secretly hated him. If they really went back, even if the boss was not sleeping, the boss would definitely ask them where Wang Gang went. How would the 3 of them answer? Should they say Wang Gang's original words? The boss would definitely value Wang Gang more. How? Consider it. If they lied, they would wait for Wang Gang to come and ask him. Wang Gang would say the original words. Based on Wang Gang's current position in the boss's eyes, the boss would naturally believe Wang Gang. Wouldn't the 3 of them be in trouble? Therefore, he had no choice but to follow along and clean up the 3 rooms. Almost 2 hours had passed by the time all 3 rooms were cleaned up. Once it was 4:45 p.m., who asked the shop to close so late? The sky was already dark, and they even lit oil lamps to light up the diners. Today, there were 2 tables of people who were drinking nonstop. They even called for the fellows. What a scam. However, Wang Gang knew what was going on. The 2 tables of people who were eating nonstop were arranged by him. Their purpose was naturally to torment them. He had been trained to be able to maintain his energy as much as possible when he had little rest. He did not believe that the other 3 fellows who seemed to have their own motives were also trained. It was now 4:45 p.m., which was 10 p.m. They were waiting to go to the boss to talk about something. No matter what, they had to delay the time as much as possible. Moreover, there were still dishes to be washed. If he suggested to wash the dishes, he would probably not be back after midnight. Tomorrow morning, they would have to wake up early in the morning to see if the 3 of them could bear it. Moreover, there would still be people coming over for dinner tomorrow night. They would not leave until very late. If it really did not work, the time in the morning could also be used. For example, they would wake up at 4:45 p.m. to clean up the front and back courtyard. They would tell the boss that they wanted to tidy up the courtyard, place things, or plant vegetables. Then, what would the 3 of them do? With different thoughts, the 4 of them returned to the braised food restaurant. Hearing the footsteps, Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan woke up. They yawned and waved at the 4 of them, asking them to go to the front. When the 3 fellows saw that the boss was indeed sleeping, they were very surprised. They looked at Wang Gang in puzzlement, wondering how he knew. Wang Gang actually did not know. He was just saying. He was also puzzled. Why was the boss so sleepy that he wanted to sleep so early? Sit down, sit down. Don't stand there. It is tiring to stand there. Zhang Xiaobao asked the 4 of them to sit down. His face was still simple and honest. The 4 fellows sat down on a bench opposite Zhang Xiaobao. They did not dare to sit at the same table as the boss like other people. Wang Wan found a seat slightly further away and sat down sideways. The 4 fellows found that the female boss had a good figure, but there were too many pockmarks on her face. Her facial features were also well defined. If there were no pockmarks and fewer wrinkles, she would definitely be a great beauty. After glancing at her, the 4 fellows immediately turned back and looked at Zhang Xiaobao, waiting for his instructions. Actually, it is not a big deal. Today, someone from a wealthy family came over. I believe you all heard what he said. He asked us to go to their house the day after tomorrow to make steamed buns. They will prepare the food for us. I don't know which wealthy family they are from. You all have seen me and the people in my restaurant. It is already good enough to open a small restaurant. When have we ever been to a wealthy family? I heard that wealthy families have many rules. If we go there and offend them, do you think I will not be able to open my restaurant in Hangzhou? I asked you all to come here to ask you all to tell me which wealthy family they are from. Should we go or not? If we go, who knows the rules of that family? If we don't go, how can we tell them? Sigh. It is not easy to do business. If we don't do well, we will not make money. If we do well, we will be targeted. Everyone says that Tang Dynasty is good, but I don't think so. What do you all think? Zhang Xiaobao looked very distressed. He talked to the four fellows and yawned from time to time. He seemed very sleepy. Hearing Zhang Xiaobao's words, Zhang Yi's eyes lit up. The other three frowned. One looked at Wei Wei, one looked at his feet, and the other looked at the same level, without blinking. The four of them just looked at him, but no one said anything. Just as Zhang Yi was about to speak, Wang Wan said, "Stone, why are you talking so much? They are all stupid. Can they understand? If they had the ability, they would be the boss, not the assistant. Why don't you just ask them directly if they want to go or not? Look, you've confused them with so many questions. You four, did you hear me clearly? I asked you about your business." "Yes, yes." The four fellows nodded. They were really annoyed by this female boss. She was too tormenting. "Say it if you hear me clearly," Wang Wan said again. Zhang Yi raised his head and said, Boss, I think you should sleep for a while. We will wash the dishes and then talk about it. Otherwise, when we leave, it will be your turn to wash the dishes." Before Zhang Yi could say his thoughts, Wang Gang suddenly said, Chapter 1070. Wang Gang's words made Zhang Yi's face turn ugly. Why was this Wang Gang always against him? There was no end to it. Instead of using his mind on work, he was thinking about this kind of thing. Zhang Yi never thought about whether his mind was used on work or not. Anyway, he felt that Wang Gang was an eyesore. "Okay." Wang Wan smiled. "Little Gang is sensible. Then you go wash the dishes. I will go with your boss to think about how to make you live more comfortably in that house." After speaking, Wang Wan got up and walked to Zhang Xiaobao. She touched Zhang Xiaobao and said, "Why are you standing there? Let's go. It's different to have a smart guy." The two of them went back to rest one after the other, leaving the four people. Zhang Yi stared at Wang Gang fiercely. He didn't believe what the female boss said. What made the four of them live more comfortably? The female boss was the kind of person who would not be comfortable if others were comfortable. He would continue to suffer. And this Wang Gang, wait and see how I will deal with you when this is over. Under Wang Gang's suggestion, the four people went into the kitchen and began to work. They didn't dare to make too much noise, so as not to disturb the boss's rest. Things were washed slowly. After a day's worth of things, there was still time to wash. As soon as Wang Wan and Zhang Xiaobao entered the bedroom, they laughed. She said to Zhang Xiaobao, "That Wang Gang is really interesting. He didn't forget to calculate people at this time. I guess he intends to use fatigue tactics. Good, he is a talent. It's normal. What kind of training did he receive? Most people can't compare to him at all. However, there is one person who seems to be from that faction. That person is Zhang Yi. When I was talking just now, there was a trace of excitement in his eyes. You know what I said, right?" Zhang Xiaobao was also full of smiles. His own spies were powerful, which meant that his side was strong. He should be proud. Wang Wan nodded and said, "I know. You said that everyone is talking about the Tang Empire, but you don't think so he is happy. It seems that he is indeed from that power. As for the other three, one of them is the one who looks at the ground. He probably doesn't want his thoughts to be guessed by others. He is Wang Gang. There is also one who was frowning, clearly not agreeing with what you said, but he didn't dare to retort. Another had a blank look in his eyes, similarly trying to hide his thoughts. I can see that the frowning person is probably on the Great Tang side, but I can't see the last one." With just one sentence and one expression, Wang Wan was able to analyze so many things and confirm that this person was not a threat. Zhang Xiaobao said, "The last one is also on the Tang Empire's side. His eyes are indeed on the same level, but I am close to him. I can feel that he is controlling his breathing. He should be suppressing the anger in his heart, because he will not be affected by it if he is happy. There are many kinds of happy emotions, but he is afraid that you and I will think that he is dissatisfied with his boss and get rid of him. It doesn't matter if he is happy. Haha, That is to say, 3 of them are on our side, and 1 is from that power. Good. It means that we still have the people's hearts. Of the other 2, 1 is probably on Li Longji's side. He is the one who is on the same level. He represents the imperial court and hates to hear others badmouth the Tang Empire. That is why his reaction was so strong. As for the one who is frowning, I can't tell which power he is from. His action of frowning shows that he is a little disgusted, but his training is not very good. He actually made his action so obvious. But he doesn't treat us as people who oppose the great Tang, just ordinary people complaining. Thus, he frowned, not glared. That's my general judgment. As for whether or not there's any discrepancy, we'll have to continue observing. In a little while, I'll mention this again. Watch carefully. Good, it is indeed interesting. Zhang Yi is going to deal with 3 people alone. Interesting, very interesting. Moreover, he is not only dealing with 3 people, but also the 2 of us. I think we should give Zhang Yi some benefits and give him power. Otherwise, under the suppression of 3 people, he will lose his confidence. What if he gives up? When Wang Wan thought of the situation Zhang Yi was going to face, she felt that it was interesting, especially when both she and Zhang Xiaobao knew about it. Because she and Zhang Xiaobao were the ones who hid the deepest. The last one was Zhang Wang. The 2 of them slept for a while longer. It was already past midnight, and it was already past midnight. The 4 waiters finished their work in the kitchen. Zhang Yi whispered to the other 2, Zhang Nan, Zhang Yu, let's talk to the boss later. Leave 1 person in the kitchen so that he can wash the things during the day. Don't wait until the end to wash them together. It's too tiring. During the day, we're all standing at the front, so there aren't that many people for us to attend to. In this small store, 4 workers are enough to fill 3 such large stores. It's tiring to stand, and it's tiring to work. Why don't we finish the night work during the day and take turns? The 2 of them hesitated for a while and nodded one after another. Especially Zhang Yu, who looked very tired, said, Big brother, you tell us. We will follow you. Second brother, what do you think? Zhang Yi was very happy to get the support of the 2 of them. So he deliberately asked Wang Gang. Wang Gang smiled and didn't say anything, but he nodded in agreement. The 4 of them looked at each other again. At this time, Wang Gang said softly in the direction of the bedroom, Boss, are you asleep? Not yet. I am lying down. I will get up soon. Zhang Xiaobao's voice came. After a while, the 2 of them came out of the bedroom. Just like before, the 6 of them sat down. Where was I? Zhang Xiaobao asked. Boss, you were talking about whether we should go to other people's houses. Wang Gang reminded him. Zhang Yi looked at Wang Gang with dissatisfaction. He could talk about this later, but he had to talk about washing dishes first. Then he said, Brother Zhang, just now we were thinking about it in the kitchen, but, oh, you thought about it? Do you want to go or not? Zhang Xiaobao asked eagerly. It's not about that. It's about washing the dishes. We plan to leave someone behind to wash the dishes during the day. After that, we won't disturb you at night. We don't have much to do during the day anyway. Zhang Yi said to Zhang Xiaobao, and then he looked at the other 3 people. Zhang Nan understood and quickly said, That's right. During the day, there are many people, so we all stand in the front. It's good to let someone take turns to wash the dishes in the kitchen. That's what I think too. Zhang Yuqiang agreed, despite his tiredness. Zhang Xiaobao listened, and then looked at Wang Gang, who hadn't said anything yet. Wang Gang quickly said, I am also willing. I promise that I won't steal food at the back. And, in the future, if we need to send things out, we can hire another person if we don't have enough people. Wang Gang had the same attitude, but Zhang Yi was angry when he heard it. They were talking about washing dishes, but why did they mention stealing food and hiring people in the future? Aren't you reminding the female boss when you say that? How could she agree? As expected, a few breaths after Wang Gang finished speaking, Wang Wan suddenly stood up. His eyes scanned the 4 people over and over again. His face, which was full of pockmarks, trembled uncontrollably. His breathing was rapid as he raised his hand and pointed at the four people. No, what are you thinking? You want to go to the kitchen to wash dishes? You said you won't steal food. So you really won't steal food? Do you know how much a portion of braised food costs? If you eat a little, you won't even get a day's salary. Also, when the business becomes more and more prosperous in the future, when we need to make steamed buns and send them out, we won't have enough people. Who will pay for that portion of the salary? Won't I pay for it? Let me tell you, when you go to the kitchen to get things, you have to be quick. When you come back, open your mouth and let me see. If you have food in your mouth, you will lose your salary and leave. The four people all looked like they were scolded and didn't dare to say anything. They lowered their heads. As for what they were thinking, only they knew. Zhang Yi was probably going crazy with anger, but Wang Gang was secretly happy. Okay, no. They didn't say that they had to do it. It's just a discussion. Sit back. Don't be angry. The great Tang was just like this. There was not much to look forward to. They just had to make do with their lives. Money was needed everywhere. The great Tang people did not care where they went. They were very particular about what shops they went to. It's not okay to have a little chip on the plate. It said that only beggars use broken bowls. It's okay to give them a chipped bowl, but since it's for beggars, they can't take money. Plates, bowls, and so on, even if they are not broken. It's not easy to buy one. If it's broken, it can't be used. If there's more or less food in the plate, it's troublesome. Who can put it so accurately? Could it be that they still had to weigh it? They can't afford that. Plus the people who pack it. Isn't the oil paper money? Send people fishing food, and the basket can't come back. It's money again. I don't see what's good about the Tang Empire. Zhang Xiaobao persuaded Wang Wan. As he persuaded, he became angry. Yes, Brother Zhang is right. The Tang Empire still has some shortcomings. If we don't change, the people's lives will be difficult. Alas. Zhang Yi's eyes lit up, and he followed the words. Zhang Yu, who was frowning, couldn't help but raise his head and try to control himself. He said, the Tang Empire doesn't need to spend money to see a doctor or raise a child. Isn't it good? Where else can you find such a good thing? And the government also gives money to people who can't work. Our shop spends a lot, but it also earns a lot. Every penny we spend, we may earn a penny. Isn't that right, Brother Zhang? What is it? Can't pay taxes? The imperial court took away the taxes. Of course, it has to be used on us. The wool comes from the sheep's back. We are actually using our own money. Wang Wan said unhappily. The Tang Empire's army is still protecting us? Zhang Nan, who was looking straight ahead, mustered up his courage and said, You still dare to talk back? Protect? What do you mean protect? Didn't you see what that rich man said when he came over? I said that I can't even not sell. Is this protection? They want us to go to their residence. We are still worried. How can we not go? Didn't you hear what he said? He wants us to prepare. It's not a discussion, it's an order. I said that if we don't go, they might not let our shop open. Where's the army? Where is the army? I didn't see it. I know that I can't afford to offend them. If you talk back to me again, get lost. I don't want to raise people like you. Humph. Wang Wan pointed at Zhang Nan's nose and scolded him. Zhang Nan clenched his fists. Then he leaned forward and loosened his fists. The three people had different attitudes. Wang Gang's eyes lit up. He looked at one and then at the other. Then he looked at Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan. He said, Boss, don't be angry. It's just a small talk. Let's talk about serious matters. What small talk? Dare to talk back to the boss? Can we still keep this servant? Zhang Yi is still the best. How about this, Zhang Yi? When you live in the back, you will be in charge and be more tolerant. You are the boss. Take care of the younger brothers. Zhang Nan, do you still dare to talk back? Wang Wan even changed the way she addressed people. One was close, the other was distant. She gave the power to Zhang Yi. Zhang Nan lowered his head and said, Boss, don't be angry. I won't dare to do it again. I really won't. Zhang Yi immediately said, Boss, don't worry. I will take good care of them. I am a busy person. Sometimes, I don't need to be in the right place. I think you are not bad. Don't you think so, sure too? Wang Wan was still catching her breath. Zhang Xiaobao quickly said, Yes, yes. I think Zhang Yi is also not bad. He is old and sensible. Then let's talk about whether we will go or not. If we go, we are afraid that we have not seen the world. If we don't go, what if they close my shop? Oh, what should I do? Zhang Yi, you go first. The question of whether to go or not was thrown to Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi was very excited. He nodded fiercely. Okay, I will say. I have to go. Why? I think that they are a big family. They have rules. Usually, it is impossible for all the people who know the rules to go in. There must be someone who teaches them. I think I can do it. When they teach me, I will memorize it. After I memorize it, I will follow Brother Zhang and Boss and remind them at any time. Brother Zhang, what do you think? Yes, yes. The rules are taught by others. As for me, I am afraid. I have never seen the masters and madams of a rich family. What if, I am scared. When I am making the buns, I tremble and the buns are not delicious. Will I be beaten? I will accept it if I am beaten. I am afraid that they will beat my wife too. My wife is weak and can't withstand the beating. Zhang Xiaobao hesitated. He still didn't completely agree with Zhang Yi's words. He looked worried. Zhang Yi looked at him and thought that he couldn't do it. If he didn't go, he would lose the opportunity. He persuaded again, Brother Zhang, don't worry. It will be fine. Think about it. A big family knows what kind of people we are. Even if we make a mistake, they will not care. What's more, Brother Zhang, the buns you make are really delicious. Oh, then we will go? Zhang Xiaobao looked at the other three people. Wang Gang thought for a while and said, Brother Zhang, if you really don't want to go, tomorrow when they come to pick up the buns, you can let me try. I will tell them. If it works, we will ask for the rules first and learn. Then, when you want to go, we will go. Is that okay? Okay. Oh, Xiao Gang, you're not bad. During the day, you are in charge of the shop. You are smart enough. Zhang Xiaobao also gave Wang Gang a share of power. As for who had more power compared to Zhang Yi, it was up to them to decide how to use it. Chapter 10:71. When Zhang Xiaobao finished speaking, Zhang Yi, who had been tasked with managing the accommodation, was stunned for a moment. He had just thought that he had some power and could help him, but before he could be happy, he received a blow. He knew too well who had more power. In the rented house, the power was nothing more than things like cleaning, whether to light the oil lamps, and where to sleep. There was no problem with tormenting people, but no matter how much you torment them, they would not listen to you or find all kinds of excuses. You could not go to the boss for every little thing, right? Besides, the boss did not see it. When the time came to complain to the boss would just ask and then tell the other three to cooperate. However, it was different when it came to managing the matters at the front. Who would dare to disobey when it came to who would stand in that position and who would deliver things outside? The boss was right next to them. Not to mention the purpose of his visit, even if he was a real worker, if he could be arranged to deliver things to a slightly more wealthy family, they would definitely be in a good mood and would definitely give him some tips. That would be an additional income. Zhang Yi really wanted to change places with Wang Gang, but he knew that it was impossible. He glanced at Wang Gang secretly, and his thoughts were complicated. Go to sleep. You all did well today. I'll give you 3 copper coins each. I'll give it to you immediately. Zhang Xiaobao said considerately. He also looked at Wang Wan. Wang Wan was not satisfied, but she still took out 12 coins, 1 copper coin each. She counted them back and forth in her hand. After counting them 6 times, she gave each of them 3 copper coins. Looking at the expression on her face, it seemed that she was not giving money, but cutting off her flesh. The 4 workers were very excited. Each of them received the money and counted it several times in their hands. As for what they were thinking, it was not difficult to guess. When they left the restaurant and walked back, the crescent moon in the sky was almost hanging in the west. The 4 workers became listless. Zhang Yi touched the 3 coins in his hand and sighed. It was not easy to be a worker. If he had a choice, he would not accept this kind of task in the future. The next morning, the worker, who had slept for less than 4 hours, came to the front again. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan had already put the buns into the drawer and steamed them in the pot. The 2 of them slept well. When he saw the 4 workers, the difference was obvious. Wang Gang didn't look tired at all. Zhang Nan had slight eye bags. Zhang Yi had dark circles. And Zhang Yu's eyes were bloodshot. In comparison, Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan were very pleased. Their spy training system was indeed better than others. But at the same time, they were worried that Zhang Yu would not be able to hold on. From the looks of it, Zhang Yu should belong to another faction that had a certain or even absolute loyalty to Tang. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan looked at each other. Wang Wan and Wei Wei nodded, indicating that they knew what to do. Then they were busy with various things. Wang Gang sent Zhang Nan to the morning market to buy seafood, while Zhang Yi asked Wang Gang to arrange the task of washing cloth and wiping the table and chairs again in the morning. Zhang Yu also asked Zhang Yu to put the braised food and side dishes on the shelf, while Wang Gang helped Zhang Xiaobao in the kitchen. From a layout, it could be seen that he was not willing to let the other 3 workers touch the kitchen. After the work was done, they began to eat breakfast. Everyone had 4 meat buns and a bowl of soup made with wild vegetables in the courtyard of the rented house. The vegetables were dug by Wang Gang, and the soup was made by Zhang Xiaobao. The rented house was not opened yet, so they would talk about it when the house was empty. The meat buns were the same as the ones that were sent to Zhang Xiaobao's grandfather's residence today. The meat buns were all good meat. The meat around the pig's foreleg was wrapped into a ball. Generally, pork would not be wrapped into a ball. Usually it was beef and mutton. Of course, venison would also work. However, the meat around the pig's foreleg was the closest to the effect of beef and mutton head. The reason why it was so good was that the meat was not directly cut out, but was smashed out by Zhang Xiaobao with the back of a knife. If it was another rich family, Zhang Xiaobao would not even care if they gave him 10,000 strings of cash. He knew that today's buns would definitely be eaten by him and Wang Wan's mother. Yesterday, they might only eat a little. How could Zhang Xiaobao be afraid of the trouble of making food for his family? In addition to the pork and onion stuffing, Zhang Xiaobao also made 2 additional trays of chicken soup dumplings. The chicken was black-bone chicken, which he made after the workers left last night. He mixed the soup twice, and the stuffing was a mixture of mutton and fish. It was specially made for his mother. He believed that when the food was sent, the cooks in the inner courtyard would know that it was suitable for pregnant women to eat as soon as they smelled it. They would test for poison first. However, they were not steamed in the trays because it was different from the traditional ones. They were not frozen stuffing or frozen stuffing and put into the trays. Instead, they were open-mouthed buns. Each of them had thin skin and large stuffing. Just a little while before they were fully steamed, they would directly open the pot and pour in the boiling soup to cook the stuffing. Therefore, they had to wait for people to come to get it before they could steam it. After steaming it, they would directly take it away. Wang Wan had never eaten such a bun before. The expectations were too high. Zhang Xiaobao had also honed his sword for 10 years. Other than 99% of his sweat, the most important thing was that he had that 1% talent. Zhang Xiaobao also prepared a large jar of wild vegetable soup, afraid that it would get cold. He even poured a layer of cooked oil on it before sealing the jar. Of course, when the workers ate it, they did not have such treatment. Zhang Xiaobao would never spend so much effort on them. Even if they ate it, they might not be able to taste the difference. After lunch, when the door was about to open, Wang Wan said to Zhang Yu, "Little Yu, I have something for you to do today. You go to the dock and ask Chow Chow where the people of the fishing association will go fishing today. You go there yourself and watch others fishing. Then, when it's time for lunch, you have to keep an eye on them and see if they are not willing to eat and directly throw away the food. You can come back at night. Go." Zhang Yu was stunned at first when he heard the order. Then he was delighted. He knew the benefits of this task. He could go to rest. It was not easy to watch others fishing. He could find a place to sleep for the whole morning and wake up when it was almost noon. After watching others eat, he could continue to sleep in the afternoon and come back at night. Zhang Xiaobao also said, "You take the braised meat and pancakes in the restaurant with you. Don't starve at noon." Zhang Yu was even more touched. Although he knew that he came with a mission, and this Zhang sure did not seem to have a good impression of Tang Dynasty last night. As a boss, he could not find fault with his care for his workers. After one worker left, there were only 3 workers left. Zhang Yu was very envious of Zhang Yu, and even a little jealous. He also wanted to go out so that he could pass the message to his own people. If he did not receive a mission from the boss, he could not go out. If he went out without permission, he would very likely be kicked out by the female boss immediately. Wang Gang glanced at Zhang Yu's back as he left. He had no expression on his face. He knew that his people would follow Zhang Yu and record his every move. The 3 workers took a short break. More people came. The person from Wang Ju's family, who always liked to show his identity by relying on the power of the main family, also came. Wang Gang did not go up to greet them. Instead, he went to a table where 2 people were eating and wiped the table for them. Although the table was clean and there were no other traces, the 2 people who were eating chatted with him for a while. Then, he went to talk to the servant of Wang Ju's family. He kept talking and finding things to talk about. The servant of Wang Ju's family was still waiting for the soup dumplings to be ready. One of the 2 people who were eating left. After a while, when the soup dumplings were ready, another servant of Wang Ju's family came in from outside and whispered to the servant who came first. The servant was surprised at first, but then nodded repeatedly. After Zhang Xiaobao packed everything and collected the money, he said to Zhang Xiaobao, "You don't have to go tomorrow. It's not good if you don't know the rules. Can you read?" "It's okay. I know a few. It's not too difficult. I can understand it." Zhang Xiaobao knew that the matter was done. Wang Gang helped him through another channel. "It's good that you can understand it. Remember it well. Otherwise, if you make a mistake, no one can protect you. Beheading is light. More serious, exterminating the whole family." The servant of Wang Ju's family raised his head again, as if he was the most important person in the world. Zhang Xiaobao also gave the servant a bribe and nodded repeatedly. Yes, I will remember. I won't dare to forget. You are from a rich family. Flowers and grass are more precious than grass. I know. Hee. You go well." The servant of Wang Ju's family, who did not know how big of a trouble he had caused, left with the 2 people who came with him. Not long after, someone else came over and gave her a stack of paper. There were a total of 7 sheets, and each one was filled with words. He threw them on the counter and told Wang that these were the rules, and that she should learn them quickly so that she could go to the manor. Zhang Xiaobao was temporarily free. He moved closer to Wang and looked at the paper. He whispered, "Let me see. What are the rules? If I make a mistake, beheading is a light punishment. I'm scared. Go away. Why are you messing around? Didn't you see that I'm keeping records? It's not like we'll really go there. When we do, our identities will change. What rules? We are the rules. The soup dumplings you made are sent over. Normally, the soup dumplings sold in restaurants have crab or something in them. They are cold but fresh. But you didn't put anything like that in them. It's obviously specially prepared for pregnant women. Aren't you afraid that your mother will guess?" Wang did not look at the rules at all. To her, as long as the Tang Empire's soldiers could go, she was the rules. Zhang Xiaobao nodded. "I'm afraid, but I'm more afraid that my mother will be worried. We've been out for a few days, but they haven't been able to contact us. If my mother guesses what I made, she will definitely persuade your mother to be in a better mood and not worry. It's much better than showing up directly and letting your mother know that we are unprepared. Asterisk, 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 in Wang Ju's manor. Jiang Wang clan and Madame Wang only had a little porridge in the morning. Recently, they had not had a good appetite. Other than the discomfort during pregnancy, they were also worried about their son and daughter. Yesterday, they ate a few buns and thought that they tasted good, so they were waiting for the buns to come today. With their identity, they could have asked the restaurant to prepare the buns earlier. However, Jiang Wang clan did not want to bully others, so they delayed the delivery. When the buns arrived today, they were sent to the two of them first. The drawers were opened, and a doctor took out a few sets of tools to check if there was any poison in the buns. Someone was also in charge of tasting the buns. Madam, the buns are delicious, really delicious. I'm fine after eating the soup dumplings. Please take a look. A maid licked her lips and said after tasting the soup dumplings. The doctor also nodded, meaning that with their current skills, they did not find any poison in the soup dumplings. At this time, the soup was poured into the bowl. Jiang Wang clan picked up a bun and used the chopsticks to make it bigger. She gently took a sip and was stunned. Chapter 1072. After being stunned for 2 or 3 breaths, the Jiang Wang clan regained her senses. She lowered her head and ate the entire bun. Then, she drank a mouthful of the wild vegetable soup that came along with it. A smile appeared on her face as she looked at Wang Wan's mother, Madame Wang. After all, Madame Wang was not Zhang Xiaobao's biological mother. After eating the bun, she only felt that it was delicious. She said to the Jiang Wang clan, "Sister, why do I feel that the bun tastes familiar when I eat it? It's delicious. In the future, let the shop make more of it. We can eat it every day. It's best if they send it early. We can't wait to eat. Look at the time now. If it's morning, we've already eaten breakfast. If it's noon, there's still some time before noon." When the Jiang Wang clan heard this, she was about to nod her head. However, she thought for a moment and said, "They're busy with opening the shop. Why don't we let them prepare it before noon? We can eat it as lunch. Don't always eat buns. Just cook some dishes. What do you think? Busy? Isn't it to make money? Give them 50 copper coins for 1 bun. They can buy a few hundred buns at a time. That way, they can earn more from the things they make for us. If they don't make other things, won't they have more time?" Madame Wang was not bullying others. She was prepared to compensate them with money. Wei Wei shook her head and looked at Madame Wang. She wanted to laugh. If Madame Wang knew that the person making the food was her son-in-law, would she still be willing to let him work so hard? The Jiang Wang clan confirmed the identity of the owner of the shop with just 1 bun and a mouthful of soup. The taste was too familiar. Other than her son, Xiaobao, she did not believe that there was anyone else in the world who knew the taste that she was used to. Furthermore, the fact that the steamed buns with meat filling could be made into a light flavor, and the soup made from wild herbs was definitely a dish meant for pregnant women. Would there be anyone who would mention their physical condition to the owner of the store? The bun was delivered at the right time. Not only was it delicious, but it also made her feel at ease. She did not know why Xiao Bao and Cuckoo opened a shop next door. She guessed that they deliberately wanted the people in the manor to buy their things. His son, Xiao Bao, was so powerful. Who would dare to say that they could open a shop next door and have the confidence to sell things to the Wang mansion? Xiao Bao could do it. Without that identity, even if he did the work of an ordinary person, he would still be able to achieve his goal. Since her son and daughter-in-law didn't want to use their real identities as a mother, she couldn't expose them, especially this little sister. If she found out that her usual behavior wasn't right, it would probably cause trouble for Xiao Bao and the others. After thinking for a while, Jiang Wang clan said to Wang Shi, "Younger sister, let's just stay here and let them cook. If we go back and the others don't like it, they'll have to change the time. It's too troublesome. Why don't we just eat it at noon? If they like it, we can ask them to send some over at night. Don't make too much, just enough for the 2 of us. The shop is small, and we don't have enough people. We can't let them be in charge of the entire residence's meals. Listen to me, it's settled. Ah, not allowed to do more? All right, I'll listen to you. It's delicious for me, so how can others not like it? Speaking of which, the owner of the shop is really amazing. He's even better than our family's chef. Even when compared to the flagship store between the clouds and the water, the difference isn't that big. In the end, Wang Shi decided to listen to Jiang Wang clan. After all, she had always listened to Jiang Wang clan whenever she encountered something, so she was already used to it. She praised the owner of the shop again. Her preconceived idea made her think that the food made by the chef of Between the Clouds and the Water was better. If she knew that the steamed buns and soup were made by her son-in-law, she would immediately think that her son-in-law was better. Because the food was delicious, the two of them ate a few more mouthfuls than usual. This was especially true for Jiang Wang clan. While eating, her happy expression didn't change at all. Once he was full, he found a servant from the inner courtyard and instructed him to have the servant in charge of receiving the goods from the braised food store go to the store and inform the owner of the braised food store. At night, he would deliver 2 dishes, cabbage and tenderloin. After that, Jiang Wang clan pulled Wang Shi back to her room to rest. She planned to use other methods to make Wang Shi feel at ease and not worry about the children. When Wang Shi's servant heard the madam's instructions, he was overjoyed. This meant that his performance was good. In addition to that, he was bribed by the shop to eat good steamed buns. He planned to ask the owner of the shop to make more food for him in the future. Thus, he rushed to the braised food shop as quickly as possible. Unlike his humble attitude in the manner, he spoke to Zhang Xiaobao, who had nothing to do for the time being and was resting at the side. Zhang Shi, here's a deal. My madam has instructed you to make some food and send it in at night. Make 4 dishes. 1 is sweet cabbage, 1 is steamed tenderloin, 1 is cold dish with more onion and garlic, and 1 is fried crabs. It has to be fried until crispy. Wang Shi's servant actually wanted to eat it himself. He liked to eat fried fish and cold dishes. When Zhang Xiaobao heard this, he frowned. What nonsense was this? Sweet cabbage? Didn't he know what his mother liked to eat? Steamed tenderloin? It wasn't steamed buns. There would be soup inside. His mother didn't like to eat that. As for the last 2 dishes, could a pregnant woman eat them? When this matter was over, he really had to teach this servant of his grandfather's family a good lesson. If he had sent a fake decree, he could have just said that he wanted to eat it. Why did he have to use another name to do it? Although he was angry, Zhang Xiaobao didn't show it on his face. However, he definitely didn't plan to let this servant eat comfortably. He put on a simple and honest expression and agreed. Okay, I'll make it. But I've never made it before. I'll try. Don't blame me if I can't make it. If you can't make it, you'll be beheaded. I won't blame you. If I don't blame you, then should I? Make it well and eat it. I'll give you more money. Try it. Yes, and prepare 2 trays of steamed buns tonight. Make it like this morning. Wang Shi's servant raised his head and turned around to leave. Zhang Xiaobao also turned around and came to Wang Wan's counter. He whispered to Wang Wan, "Did you see that? Grandpa's family is like this. Our mother wants to eat cabbage. Where can we buy it at this time of the year? No, mother doesn't think about where I can get cabbage. I have to get him back." After saying that, Zhang Xiaobao ordered Wang Gang, "Xiaogang, go and get him. I don't have cabbage. Tell them to change the dish. I can't make it." Wang Gang hurriedly chased out. He didn't tell Zhang Xiaobao what he said. Instead, he asked his servant to get some cabbage from the manor. Even if they couldn't find it anywhere else, they definitely had it in the manor. When his wife went out, everything had to be prepared. They could not be able to find anything when they wanted to eat. If some vegetables were not kept in the soil for a long time, they had to be specially raised in the soil when they came with the ship. At this time of the year, it was indeed impossible to find cabbage in Hangzhou. Not to mention cabbage, there weren't even cabbages. At the same time, he also planned to ask his servant to talk to the manor. This servant actually dared to talk nonsense. The 2 madams were pregnant. How could they eat cold dishes with onion and garlic? What a joke. Sweet cabbage? It was possible to eat spicy cabbage. Zhang Xiaobao also took the money from the counter and said, I'm going to buy tenderloin. I have a choice. I hope the meat next to the butcher is still fresh. There's also tenderloin. To make sweet and sour tenderloin, you need to use rock sugar. Cabbage is the simplest kind of cabbage. Where can I get old vinegar? My mother didn't think about it. I don't have anything on hand. How can I not know what to do? After muttering to Wang Wan, Zhang Xiaobao went out to look for all kinds of things he needed. Wang Wan pursed her lips and smiled. She shouted behind him, Look, do you have any pancakes? Buy one for me. Keep an eye on it. It must taste good. Buy what? It's free. I'll make it for you when you come back. Zhang Xiaobao's voice came from outside the door. In Wang Lu's residence, in the side courtyard of the fourth courtyard, the head maidservant Wang Li also received 3 steamed buns. They were not soup dumplings. There were only 2 drawers of soup dumplings. Zhang Wang clan and Wang Lu ate 1 drawer each. Only the maidservant in charge of testing for poison ate 1. Wang Li looked at the steamed buns in front of her with a solemn expression. She wanted to eat them, but she was afraid that they would be gone after eating them. If she didn't eat them, she was afraid that they would be cold by noon. She was hesitating. Levi, I have something good for you. Candied plums, take a look. These are their things. I saw that no one was eating them, so I secretly brought them for you. Wang Levi was thinking about whether to eat the steamed buns or not when a man sneaked into her room. He was like a thief. He was very careful. He was holding a small wooden tray. There were about 10 candied plums on it. Seeing the person who came in and hearing what he said, Wang Levi frowned. Wei Wei said, Wang Shu, how many times have I told you? I told you not to come here, but you still came here. Is my place where a man like you can enter? Do you want to be beaten to death? You still dare to steal things. Quickly send them back. If people find out, they will break your hand. If I want to eat candied plums, I will ask for them myself. Quickly get out. Lu He, Wang Shu, don't care if others can eat or not. You are my savior. If you didn't take pity on me because I couldn't find a job and recruited me, I don't know how much I would have to suffer outside. As long as you can eat good food, I'm willing to even kill me. The man called Wang Shu by Wang Levi had a grateful expression on his face. Not only did he not go out, he also put the tray in his hand on the table. He glanced around and saw the 3 steamed buns on the table. He asked curiously, Levi, why are you eating steamed buns at this time? Steamed buns are not as delicious as candied plums. Eat the candied plums. You eat. Wang Levi looked at the candied plums on the table and said very unhappily, I told you to send them back, you. Forget it, this is the only time. You are not allowed to steal things in the future. If you are found to send them back, you will be beaten. Did you hear what I said? If there is one more time, I will tell the housekeeper and let the housekeeper punish you. I know. This is the last time. I will not steal things in the future. Look, they don't eat it and throw it here and there. After today, they probably won't want it anymore. I don't have any other skills. If I want to repay the kindness, I can only do this. If it wasn't for you, I would only be working at the dock. It is tiring and not earning much. You see, I am thin and don't have that much strength. When I think about it, I feel that I should do something for you. Wang Shu seemed to be very obedient and began to talk about the past. Wang Levi nodded helplessly and said, If you really want to repay the kindness, you should do well in the mansion. When I met you half a year ago, I saw that you were smart, so I recruited you. You can't make trouble for me. Otherwise, I will be punished with you. There are steamed buns on the table. Eat one. It is not an ordinary steamed bun. It is a gift from my wife. The braised food shop outside specially made it for the mansion. There are not many of them. You take one, and I will eat the other 2. While speaking, Wang Levi pushed a plate of steamed buns in front of Wang Shu. Wang Shu took one and hesitated. He opened his mouth and took a bite. His eyes immediately widened. Before swallowing the steamed bun, he nodded and said, "Delicious, really delicious. I have never eaten such delicious steamed buns in the mansion. Is it made by a small shop outside? Why don't they make more? Then everyone in the mansion can eat it." Their shop is a braised food shop, not a steamed bun shop. Wang Vi said, "Let them change it. Our mansion is very powerful. If I tell them to change it into a shop, they will change it into a shop. Vi, how about this? You talk to the housekeeper and let me go out and do things. I will buy you better things. Isn't it easy to eat steamed buns?" Wang Shu finished a steamed bun and moved closer to Wang Vi as he said. Wang Vi shook her head and said, "No, you know the current situation. Not only the original people in the mansion, but also the people of the Zhang family and the Wang family, as well as the emperor are here. I have already ordered that all the servants who have been in the mansion for less than 5 years are not allowed to get close to those courtyards. They are also not allowed to talk to the servants of the other side. When they meet, they have to lower their heads. Even people like us who can go out can't mention anything about the mansion when we go out. You said that you want to go out, but you have only been here for half a year. There is still a long way to go before 5 years. You should just stay in the manor and wait for His Majesty to leave. Naturally, you will be able to go out. I don't think it will take His Majesty a long time. At most, it will take half a month." Alas. Wang Shu sighed and said, "In my opinion, the mansion is too strict. You can't go out within 5 years. How long has it been since the news of the emperor's arrival? People who come in within a month may be spies from other places. I have been here for half a year, and there is no news at that time. How can I do something bad to the emperor? Besides, the emperor has a lot of guards. If I go out to do something, can I find tens of thousands of people to harm the emperor? I can't go out all day in the mansion. I feel sullen. Vi, you are the best. You can see the 2 madams. Since you have nothing to do, you can tell me about them." Are the rules different from ours? There is nothing to say. And the rule of the mansion is that during this time, the servants who have been in the mansion for less than 5 years are not allowed to ask about anything about the other side. The servants who have been in the mansion for more than 5 years are also not allowed to say anything. Don't ask me. I won't tell you. After Wang Vi said this, she pointed to the steamed bun on the plate and said, "If you think it is delicious, you can eat one. I will leave one to taste. You will reward me again tomorrow." "I won't eat it." "You eat it." "Vi, don't you believe me? I am the person you recruited. You can tell me. I won't mention this to others. I am curious. You can tell me about the things outside. For example, that braised food store. When did they open? Is it the one in the east? I have eaten there before when I could go out. The owner there doesn't know how to make steamed buns. I have never heard of them selling steamed buns, let alone rolling pancakes. Did they change the owner?" Wang Shu swallowed his saliva, but didn't continue to take the steamed bun. He still asked Wang Vi about things. Wang Vi looked at Wang Shu in surprise and asked, "How do you know they sell rolling pancakes? You haven't gone out before?" How do I know? Me? I am bored in the mansion, so I found someone who can go out to talk. I asked about the lotus flowers in West Lake, and they casually mentioned it. I estimate that in a few days, the lotus flowers on West Lake will bloom. When that time comes, I will be able to go out and take you to see the lotus flowers. Those lotus flowers are just like you. Beautiful. You are even more beautiful than the lotus flowers. You have a good heart. If you hadn't, don't talk about the things that I recruited you. Just do your job well, and you will repay me. In the future, you are not allowed to ask others about the things outside. If you are found out, you will be beaten. Why bother?" Wang Vi didn't like Wang Shu to talk about the things that happened in the past when they met, so she warned him again. Wang Shu hurriedly nodded his head. Yes, I won't ask. I just casually asked. They said it themselves. I will remember it in the future. Before the emperor leaves, I won't ask. Even if they want to talk to me, I will cover my ears and not listen. Levi, you eat. I will go back and find a job to do. I won't make you lose face. After speaking, Wang Shu turned around and left. Wang Levi looked at his back, shook her head, and murmured, "This person is good at everything. But he always likes to ask about strange things." Sigh. If it was before, it wouldn't matter. But now, it will be easy for the steward to find out about this matter. At that time, I will also be implicated. Before dinner, Wang Ju's servant came to the braised food store and asked Zhang Xiaobao, who had just finished his work, "Is everything ready?" Okay, wait a moment, I will pack the food. Zhang Xiaobao took out a food box. He deliberately bought it. It was not a basket used to hold cakes. The basket was not layered, but the food box was layered. Out of the 4 dishes, 2 of them were steaming hot. Just as he was about to put in the mixed vegetables and the deep-fried crabs, Wang Ju's servant suddenly said, "Put these 2 dishes separately. Don't put them in the food box. The smell will spread." "No, don't think that it's a food box. The food box I bought is better. Each layer is tightly sealed. It won't go bad. If you don't believe me, you can see it." Zhang Xiaobao held the food box and showed it to the servant. "If I tell you to separate them, then separate them. Find a basket and pack them. There's also some braised food. Cut some and some wine. Hurry up, we are still waiting to go back." Wang Ju's servant smacked his lips and ordered more braised food and wine. Zhang Xiaobao quickly put them in a basket. The wine was put into a gourd. The gourd was not small, and there was still room for 3 caddies of wine. Passing the food box and basket to the servant, Zhang Xiaobao asked, "Shouldn't the money for the braised food and wine be? What should be?" "What do you want to say should be? Your store should be closed down, and all of you should be thrown into prison. There are many things that should be done." Humph. Wang Ju's servant glared at him, took the things, and left in large strides. Zhang Xiaobao looked at the servant's departing figure and shook his head. He turned around and stood next to the counter. The waiter Zhang Yi came over and said to Zhang Xiaobao, "Brother Zhang, we are open for business. We seek money, not power. We can't afford to offend powerful people. Don't think that he is just a servant. Do you know where he is from?" Without waiting for Xiaobao to ask, Zhang Yi continued, "I've heard from the diners that they are from the prince's mansion. It's the prince's mansion that's not far from our restaurant. It's really something. Just bear with it. What else can we do? Right, Brother Zhang? What's more, the things they buy are very expensive. We can make a profit and treat it as money for the beggars. Don't you think so?" "Yes. I just don't want to lower myself to his level. Otherwise, stepping on him would be like stepping on a bug. I, sure too, am not afraid of him. I will just treat it as feeding the food to the dogs." Zhang Xiaobao said with a lack of confidence. Zhang Yi quickly added, Yes, Brother Zhang. Just based on your cooking skills, even 100 of him can't compare. If it weren't for the store's business, I would have beaten him up in anger. If worst comes to worst, I will run away. Where can they find me? I am afraid that if they can't find me, they will come to the store to cause trouble. That's why I didn't do anything. Brother Zhang, I feel annoyed just looking at him. How about this? Next time he comes, tell him not to come to the store personally. Our store will send someone to deliver the food. When the time comes, you won't see it and won't feel annoyed. I am willing to do it. It's fine if it is tiring. Zhang Xiaobao saw that Zhang Yi was silent. When Zhang Yi didn't know what to do, he nodded. Maybe he can't agree. Since they are from such a powerful Wang mansion, what if they are afraid that someone will poison them? How can there not be people who specialize in testing poisons in the Wang mansion? If they want to poison them, they can do it in the store. Do you think I will poison them? Not to mention that I don't have such thoughts. Even if I do, they will be able to test it. If I run away, it will affect the store. Even if he, a servant, offended you, and I wanted to avenge you, I couldn't possibly poison him. I'm not stupid, and I don't know what poison is. I always get sick from eating it. If I knew it, how could I get sick? Zhang Yi said to Zhang Xiaobao with a smile. Then he asked, What do you think? When he comes tomorrow, I'll tell him. At most, I'll bring him something when I go. Isn't he just relying on his master's ability to eat for free? Anyway, I won't let you see him. It's fine as long as you're happy. Okay, you can try it tomorrow. I still don't know what the Wang mansion is like. If you can really send him something, you can take a look around. If you meet someone who is easy to talk to, I will also learn. That is the Wang mansion. Zhang Xiaobao agreed. Zhang Yi returned to his seat with satisfaction and did what he was told. Wang Gang, who was standing at the door, looked at Zhang Yi and Zhang Xiaobao. He lowered his head and pondered for a while. When he looked up again, the corners of his mouth curled up. Zhang Xiaobao pretended not to see, but glanced at Wang Wan. Wang Wan and Wei Wei nodded. They knew that Wang Gang was going to help Zhang Yi enter the Wang mansion. Since Zhang Yi wanted to enter, they would let him in and see what he was going to do. They would also see if he was going to ask for information himself, or if someone in the Wang mansion had contacted him. In this way, they would save a lot of trouble. They had planned to follow the vine to find the melon, but now it seemed that it was not necessary. They only needed to pay attention to the people who were eating. Who had any tricks with Zhang Yi? Zhang Nan, who was in charge of putting things on the shelves, also looked at them. His hands slowed down as if he was thinking about something. At night, Zhang Yu came back. The blood vessels in his eyes were gone. It seemed that he had a good rest outside and was very energetic. He was carrying 2 big grass carps in his hands. Every day, the fish weighed at least 3 kilograms. He pierced them through the gills with a willow branch. One of them was not completely dead. Obviously, it moved a little. Seeing Zhang Yu, Wang Gang became more friendly. He said to Zhang Yu, "You are back? Why are there still fish? I asked you to see if they threw away the food at noon when they were fishing. Did you go into the water and catch the fish yourself?" Wang Gang had a reason to be friendly because he already knew the identity of the other party. He should be in the same group as the Zhang family and the Wang family. If he showed his identity, the other party could cooperate with him. Zhang Yu did not know that his identity had been found out by others. When he was outside, he sent a telegram and contacted his own people in Hangzhou. He was free now. He had to make good use of this one day. Hearing Wang Gang's question, Zhang Yu looked at Zhang Xiaobao first and said, "I don't have the ability to catch fish. A fish weighing 3 kilograms is more than enough to catch me. It is afraid of me on the shore, but I can't do anything to it in the water. It is a gift. I went to the West Lake and stayed there. There were a lot of people fishing, and they were all wearing nice clothes. There were even more attendants. It was a grand scene. I wanted to go closer, but they wouldn't let me. In the end, I had no choice but to stay near a person from the fishing association. As long as I didn't go to the center, they didn't care about me. I stayed with the person next to me. He was very good. In one day, he caught more than 20 fish. I also helped him with the net. In the end, when he left, he didn't want a lot of fish, so he asked the people following him to share it with the people on the West Lake. As for me, I was given 2 fish that looked the most pleasing to the eye. At noon, when he saw me eating, he asked me where I was from. I told him I was from the braised food store. To tell the truth, it wasn't something to be ashamed of. I told him why I was here. I also showed him the food that Brother Zhang had brought me and shared it with him. He also gave me a glass of white wine. The wine was delicious. Then he praised the seafood roll in our shop. He said that the seafood roll was delicious. When they left, I carried the grass carp and ran around the place where they had been. No one threw it. Not only did they not throw the seafood burrito, they didn't throw the oil paper either. The place where they had been was clean and tidy. I ran back. "Brother Zhang, look, one of the fish was moved just now. It's not dead yet. You can cook it." He. Zhang Xiaobao nodded and also laughed. He didn't believe that Zhang Yu had spent the whole day by the West Lake and did nothing else. Looking at Wang Gang's attitude toward Zhang Yu, he must have found out the other's identity. Since that was the case, he was relieved. Zhang Nan was one of Li Longji's people. Now, there were 4 people in the store. It was 3-1 to torture Zhang Yi. Interesting. After taking the 2 fish, Zhang Xiaobao said, Good fish. When the store is closed tonight, I will cook fish for you. I'll braise it. It's not good, but it's better than cooking it yourself. Brother Zhang, you will definitely cook it well. Zhang Yu quickly praised. Why are you making 2 fish? It's 3 caddies of fish. 1 fish is enough for them. Leave the other one first. Find a cool place and hang it up. Eat, eat, eat. What are we going to eat tomorrow? Just when everyone showed a happy expression, Wang Wan's words followed. Zhang Xiaobao almost couldn't help but laugh. This Wang Wan, she never forgets to play her role. It's just 2 fish. So what if they don't make a sound? She must show her character all the time. Sigh. Zhang Yu and the other 4 people also had a headache. It's true that they came here to be intelligence officers, but they were always being scolded. No one felt good. They never knew that being an intelligence officer could be so cowardly. Listen to the boss and eat 1 fish. Brother Zhang, cook 1 fish. It's enough for the 4 of us. It's 3 caddies. Each of us can eat a lot. Zhang Yu wanted to say that he was the one who brought the fish back, but he didn't dare to. He was afraid that the female boss would get angry and not want the fish. Then she would kick him out. Then all his efforts would be wasted. When they met today, the people on his side had already told him to find a way to find out whether the other 3 people were real or not. Another task was to keep an eye on the 2 bosses of the restaurant. He wanted to know what else they could do besides making braised food, rolls, and steamed buns. If possible, he wanted to recruit them into the organization. With good craftsmanship, it would be more convenient for them to do things. Moreover, it would be easier for them to achieve results. The task was very important, especially the last one. It seemed very difficult to get the female boss into the organization. She was a person who only ate and didn't vomit. Therefore, he must not be kicked out. Zhang Yu made a concession, but he didn't expect that the female boss was not done. She continued, You 4 eat the 3 caddies of fish. Stone and I will watch. Divide it into 3 parts. 1 for the head, 1 for the tail, and 1 for the middle. The head and the tail should be about the same as the middle. When the time comes, we will eat the head and the tail. Zhang Yu quickly said. As for how much good meat the head and the tail could bring, it would depend on how Brother Zhang cut. You eat? How can I let you eat? You have been busy all day and worked hard. The good meat is for you. Stone, and I will eat the head and the tail. Don't say any more. It's settled. Wang Wan tried to be gentle, but the 4 guys didn't feel it. They were always on tenterhooks. They were afraid that the female boss would say something. Seeing that the good meat was going to belong to them, it would be a lie if they didn't feel guilty. But Zhang Xiaobao knew that Wang Wan really wouldn't eat the middle part. That was what ordinary people ate. If he made it himself, the head and tail of the fish would be delicious. Unfortunately, it was not the fathead fish. If it was the fathead fish, the head would be more valuable. Nowadays, people still didn't know how delicious the head of the fathead fish was. When the sun set, oil lamps were lit up in the store. This was how small stores were like. Unlike the rich families nowadays, who lived near the river or where the wind was strong, they would spend a lot of money to hire a company to install an electricity system for them. After installing the electricity system, there could be a washing machine. It was a one-way rotation. If you wanted to change the direction, you could only take the clothes out and let the clothes change direction before putting them in. It was easy to break. But even so, the rich people also used it. They didn't expect to improve the efficiency. It was just for show. There was also the electric light. Because of technical reasons and not enough investment in this area, it was easy to break down. The real technical tilt was all on the fuel machine. Some people burned biogas. It was not easy to make a biogas lamp, but it was not necessary to use a biogas lamp to light up. Just follow the pipe out and directly spew out fire. It was brighter than candles and cheaper. This was all because of Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan. The two of them knew a lot of things. Otherwise, let alone the electric light, even the people of Great Tang wouldn't know about it. How long did it take to invent the electric light? At that time, there were theories. Then, they had to experiment with different filament materials. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan directly skipped this process. When others finished researching, they just used it. This was the advantage of the Industrial Revolution. For Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan, many common knowledge in Great Tang were great knowledge that people couldn't understand even if they spent a lot of effort. The oil lamp didn't light up at all, especially for Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan. They were used to the existence of the electric light. When they lit the oil lamp again, they felt uncomfortable in their eyes. So, the two of them simply didn't look at the swaying flame. Just like yesterday, there were still 2 tables of people who hadn't finished eating. There were 3 people at one table and 4 at the other table. They were leisurely drinking wine, eating side dishes, and braised food. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan glanced at each other. They judged that these 2 tables were filled with their own spies. Moreover, it wasn't just the 2 tables left. During the day, their own spies would also take turns eating here to ensure that there were still people in the restaurant other than Wang Gang. After all, the things in the restaurant had entered the Wang residence. They couldn't be careless. Wait for the day to come later. Then, the 4 of them wouldn't be able to sleep well tonight. Zhang Xiaobao also went to the counter and sat down. Like Wang Wan, he closed his eyes and rested. The 2 of them still had to discuss things in the evening. He thought that there were only 2 tables of people, but after a while, 2 more people came in and sat down. They also ordered wine and drank slowly. From time to time, they would whisper a few words about family matters. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan glanced at each other again. They also couldn't tell which side the 2 people who came in belonged to. Just as he was surprised, another person came in from outside. He glanced around the restaurant and found that 3 of the 4 tables were already occupied. He went straight to the empty seat and ordered several dishes and wine. He poured himself a cup of wine and drank by himself. Who is this? Is everyone here to join in the fun? Zhang Xiaobao asked in bewilderment. Wang Wan shook her head. She wasn't a deity, so how would she know? Footsteps sounded outside the door again. This time, 2 people came in. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan glanced at each other. They could guess who they were. They were from Li Longji's side. Everyone had their own habits. They understood a lot. After careful observation, they would be able to tell. There were also times when they couldn't tell. However, such people were placed in more important positions. The 2 of them didn't fight for the seat where the other person was sitting. There was a long table beside them. They sat next to each other and ate. Just when Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan thought that no one else would come, 5 people came in from outside. The person in front had a scar on his face. He glanced around and directly went to the table where the other person was sitting. He tilted his head and looked at the person eating. He raised his chin and said, "Move aside and eat." One person is occupying a big table. Even someone as smart as Zhang Xiaobao was confused. Whose side was this? You're tuning in to the Echo Reads YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.